Hello everyone and welcome to the Hall of Xbox Christmas Gamers podcast. This week we're doing Game of the Year. It's our final episode. So, in the great Christmas tradition, we've invited some people over to come hang out at our place for probably way longer than they should. This week we're joined by our wonderful friends over the XboxCast. Hello everyone, how are we doing?
Oh,
Good.
Merry
Good.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas
Merry
to you guys
Christmas.
too.
that intro was super high energy. I was so impressed.
We're always high energy.
It's just gonna go up from there. So as always, we do the show live on Twitch. If you're watching this later on YouTube or listening to the audio version, you're missing out on so much of our faces. So come say hi, come hang out in the chat, ask us questions. David's in the chat immediately saying hello, morning and evening. We're on Xbox Hall of Gamers is the place to find us on Twitch. So come say hi. We greatly appreciate all the support.
And you should tune in this week because I got Christmas lights.
Yes, there are. Yes, yes, we're very festive. I'm wearing a Christmas hat, guys.
I have my mistletoe.
Ho ho ho.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. No, I have a machine gun now. No, that's
That's a different program.
That's
a whole
completely
different
different.
that's
the other
a
show.
different- That's the other
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one too. But yes, without any further ado, Cameron is going to transition us to a Christmas-themed song of the week.
All right, give me 2 seconds to download it. God damn it!
Oh,
Wow.
It was okay.
Such an
Okay,
amateur.
okay. It was
The
working.
last show.
It was
of the
working
year.
before, and then I had to swap the mic over, and somehow that's messed everything up with Discord.
It's okay. This happens to Lee all the time.
No, it never happens to me. I'm constantly on the ball
We
and
are
working.
so
Lee, don't lie to my face.
Wow. Wow.
we never
Oh,
have
the
problems
list is
like
just
this.
so delightful, but the
Okay.
choosing has been frightful. And since it's our last show, let us know, let us know, let us know. For some of these games I'm shopping, and for stuffing in my friends' stockings. The final lists are ready to go. Let us know, let us know, let us know.
God, that close.
Wow. what a
You should be
finish.
proud of that. That's good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That was a
thank
finish,
you.
mate.
I literally
he did
can't-
very good.
I've been thinking about it all weekend. Which terrible Christmas song I was going to use because most of them are bad.
Mhm.
And because we've already done Mariah Carey, so I was like, well, that one's out.
Hmm.
We're with I'm assuming you all know what the song is.
I have a question though.
Yes.
Whose version did you do?
I guess you could debate over what version we did, right? But I went with Dean Martin.
Okay, cool. All
I
right.
went with the classic.
Yeah.
But yes,
Not Oh Blue Eyes.
No. So yeah, I went with the old Dean Martin version, but yes, it is. Let It Snow. If for some reason you didn't get that song, I don't know how. I mean, it's basically.
I thought it was Jingle Bells.
I
Oh,
thought
I
it was
see.
Wham.
Yeah.
See. Okay.
Easy to mix up.
Next year, promise me.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will admit the first thing I did pick was Last Christmas.
Yes.
However, again going off on tangent territory immediately. I just had the reason we didn't do the show on Fridays because I was out of town for my work Christmas party, and we ended up at karaoke after the Christmas party. And one of the first songs that we did was, of course, Last Christmas, which I got handed the mic for. I'm like, I know Last Christmas, I can sing this. I do not know Last Christmas. I know, Last Christmas.
The
You
first
gave me a
few
heart.
words, yeah?
Yeah, I know the chorus,
Mm.
but everything in between, I don't know the words. I don't know how they're sung. But that song goes on way longer than I expected. And I was thankfully everyone was absolutely blitzed, so no one paid any attention to my really lackluster rendition.
They were all just happy.
They were, yeah. I mean, look. As soon as that was done, I switched to Hey Jude and nailed it. Everyone was like, because everyone wants to say Hey Jude, and I would do more of the song, but I don't want to get copyright strike.
Yeah.
It's like us doing what song was it at karaoke?
Which one song?
I was gonna.
Yeah.
There's so many songs
did
I just kept them
multiple.
going.
And there was like 3 hours. What's one song were you thinking?
Yeah, there was a couple of songs. I think September was in there somewhere. But yes, that's song of the week out of the way. So that's the last one for the year. So that's all you're getting. I got to come up with some new stuff for next year. But thankfully, I've got a few weeks to think about it. Not that I'll use them for anything. Every song of the week is written on the day.
Always.
Literally always.
Somebody peer
Literally.
pressure him to do a Christmas album. That's
Oh,
prime
no,
Patreon
I'm
content.
not.
right
I'm
there.
not. I'm not. I'm not doing. I'm not doing a whole Michael Bublé. Like that's no.
Come on, it'll be brilliant.
That does actually sound pretty funny, but it sounds like way too much work. All right, well, let's. You know what? Let's just get into it. Let's have a chat with you guys. It's been a while since you guys have been on the show. So how's your 2022 been?
I love the enthusiasm from the rest of the crew.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm so tired today. I'm
This is
so
now
sorry.
up to you guys.
don't all jump in at once about how fucking exciting your year was and how high energy the show needs to be. That's fine.
2022 was a blur, which I think means that it was packed full of great things.
Or it was just so monotonous that it's all just one
Who
thing that
knew
you
what
can't
was,
tell
yeah.
apart. One or the other, right?
Possibly. The reason for the hesitation though was because I was trying to remember when last we were on the show, and you guys were
Oh.
very tired.
Yes. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
what
that was the 12-hour stream.
Yes.
that
So
was
many
a lot.
tasty food combinations that night.
Jesus.
That
That
was
was
good
that was-
fun.
wow.
That was
It was
May.
hilarious from our end. It was.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah, you guys seem to have a great
For
time.
everyone
Yeah.
else, it
We had a
was.
great time.
Yeah, there was that was actually. Well, now that we brought that stream up, I've realized I still haven't completed my my goal for that. But never mind, it's fine. I got pretty
Forza?
close. Yeah, I have. Okay, I have one achievement left in Forza. I've done
Yeah.
everything
Oh, wow.
else. In it.
He has actually done almost everything.
I've done.
Fantastic.
It's the Eliminator is causing me some heartbreak, but I
It's
will.
a stupid mode. I agree.
No, I love it. It's so much fun.
It's great.
It's so much
it's-
fun. I can't think of a game that I played this year that got me so sweaty.
Oh yeah, I
while
was gonna say
playing.
like that is
Are
all
we just
the
talking
Eliminator
Xbox
is.
here or what?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you know, I really enjoyed Forza. I really enjoyed Forza. But the Eliminator is just like the least fun thing in the entire world to me because it is nothing but sweaties. Like it's just like you have to be. I mean, if you're not first, you're last in that game, right? So it's like
And it's so much luck involved as well. Like
Yeah,
actually
because-
knowing where it's going to go and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and
That's
of
right.
course, the person who wins is always like, okay, the circle's shrinking here, so I know the end's going to be over here. So 10 seconds before the final race starts, I'm just going to drive out in that direction and start going on the bar because I don't really care. And then I'm just like, cool, I'm going to start driving, and it's like, oh, it's over. I'm like, oh, cool.
You gotta jump on it like as soon as this stuff comes out, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Because-
The only people left playing,
Like, I really enjoy Forza, and like the only thing I can think of between us is I constantly, as soon as the DLC drops for it, jump on it straight away.
the DLC I do play usually straight away, but
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have played it anyway if I hadn't, raised so much money for kids or whatever. Ugh, it's just
Pesky
unbelievable.
kids.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, so,
Alright.
Why
so
would
we
we
had an
do
awesome
that?
Yeah.
year. We did 75 episodes this year, which was insane for us.
75.
75 episodes.
That's
Plus
amazing.
a few specials as well we did along the lines as well. It's kind of crazy.
That is actually insane.
More than last year. We did a lot. We thought we did a lot last year and somehow we beat it, which is
Yeah, well, it's the biggest year I think we did, and we took a long hiatus in the new year as well. I think we only started late February or early
Yeah.
March.
no, it was February. Like you did a couple in February, didn't we?
yeah. So
Yeah. So next year's gonna be bigger. We'll start earlier next year, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, January 1st.
If
You're
if
gonna
you're not
start
growing, you
1st of
don't.
January. Done.
Straight in there. Yeah. And we had PAX this year as well, which was very cool. We all met up in
Yeah.
PAX,
Oh yes, of
which was
course.
incredible this year. Yeah.
That was great fun.
Which is insane.
That was
Yeah,
a
Lots
good
of
trip.
geeks walking
Super
around.
strange seeing myself on a stream that wasn't this show. Being like,
Oh.
because you guys were live streaming the show, right? So I just walked
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
And
that's right.
I was like, oh, hang on, that's me. That's very, very odd. Don't usually see
Yeah.
myself. Don't usually
So you
see
don't go
myself
back
from
and
that
watch. You don't go back and watch all your streams then after you've recorded them.
angle. No, God, no. I barely watch the episode to edit it, let alone actually go back and watch it for enjoyment. You kidding me? I literally slap the intro on the beginning, the outro on the end, and try and cut out anything that make me lose my job.
Anything Cameron done, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. You just drop it a couple levels. Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, if you go back and rewatch it, it's a free view.
That is true. But I can set up a bot for that. That's fine. I wouldn't be an automation specialist if I didn't do that. But yeah, I totally agree. PAX was absolutely amazing. It was so fantastic. to see
I think
you
the
guys.
actual PAX was pretty average, but the event of actually meeting everyone was very cool.
Yeah.
I think that was
Yeah, that
awesome,
was really cool.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see when I go over to PAX East how it holds up compared to PAX Oz. Because I love PAX Oz, but that was mainly because I got to meet all these like different people like working. But yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that PAX East wasn't that great this year, though. There wasn't huge amounts of announcements and stuff happening.
Yeah.
It's
that
that.
was an interesting one.
Yeah, it's that COVID. I think it's going to be that thing. Like they just revealed the Game Expo in March too, and I still feel a bit iffy about that as well. Like just these in-person cons and all that just aren't what they were pre-PAX, pre-COVID. But yeah, which is unfortunate, but it's a good excuse to get everybody together. And
I think
fun.
it's getting better. From the sound of it, all the pubs in the UK are filling up and stuff again. Like people are out and doing things. So yeah. All the shows are happening now. They're getting packed out and sold out all the time, aren't they? So I think things are happening.
People are desperate to get out there and live their lives.
Get
again.
out of the house. Yeah.
Yeah, my life just went straight back to how it normally was. If anything, I played less video games over COVID. Yeah, I think that because originally PAX West used to be PAX Prime, and that was the original one they did in Seattle every year in August, and that was the big one. And then they did the spin-off out east because they got too many people coming to the original one, and now there's going to be a PAX in every corner of the world at this stage. And I think you're right, Cameron. It's interesting to see like how many announcements can you have when you have 20 events happening over the year, and that doesn't even include like Microsoft going, "Oh, we'll just do our own event," and Sony saying, "Oh, we'll do our own event. We don't really need to do anything at these big things." And Jeff Keighley desperately trying to get some announcements for the Game Awards and all that. Sort of stuff.
You know what the problem is these days? There's too many games. Not enough time.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that's the most first world of problems is that there are just too many damn video games. Yeah. Any other highlights from the year you guys want to shout out and that kind of stuff? I mean, you guys have been doing some amazing stuff on the podcast and all that.
Oh, you've kind of put the
well, you'll have to remind us what amazing stuff we did on the podcast.
Yeah.
You came on our podcast.
Yeah.
We invaded your podcast and then we met in real life and now we've been invited back. So I think we have a chance. I think we've shot our shot and now it's worked.
Yeah, so far
We've
so
actually
good.
been on 3 times now, haven't we, this year? This is our third trip, isn't it?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, this is the third time.
Look at that. We've gone beyond friends now. We're on the next.
Now it's just awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said in the intro, we're just inviting you guys over for Christmas, and it's just going to be that stage where you're just going to like, yep. Probably.
Our community's improved as well. We've got bigger. Our community. We've got way more of your guys appearing in our place.
It's become there's a lot of cross pollination happening, which I'm very happy to see actually because we've got some great people in both the communities.
This year, Isaac became 2 questionnaires.
Yeah.
That was a monumental moment for sure.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Actually, speaking of which, we do have a question from Isaac that we should probably get into. He says, "Hey guys, do you have any games you want to complete or achievements you want to get before the end of the year?" Looking at we don't have only a couple of weeks left. Thanks for taking my question. He also says milestones or anything else like that you kind of want to try and clean up right before the year rolls over. Thank you for asking the question, Isaac. We greatly appreciate you. Any thoughts, guys? Anything that's jumping out at you?
I'm doing Gotham Knights currently. I've just finished off. I'm doing the game plus on that currently, going through that now. So do the clear up. Yeah, it's a good fun game. I'm enjoying it.
Will you get that done by the end of the year?
Yeah, should be. I'm pretty close. I think I've got like 10 achievements left, and most of them are now finish it to level 40. Do all the get one of the abilities to max, which you'll do anyway because level 40. And then there's a whole bunch of kill 10 rats and stuff like that, which I've got to go clean up and. Kill 10 bat. What are they called? Bats.
Batman. Oh.
No, like bat. No, they're like that, but like Batman, but not Batman. If you know what I mean. Like it's a man that's like a weird kind of crossover bat freak thing.
Yeah, werebat.
Oh, weird.
Actually, well, that's an interesting thing. This year, Lee became an achievement hunter.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
It's insidious.
I'm not sure what happened. Yes. Yeah. I got like
It just crawled up
1,200
on you.
achievements or something this year. Like insane amount of achievements. For
Yeah, it's
me,
crazy.
to get
for
that.
you.
Yeah. For me, yeah, it's insane. And actually like completing games.
I mean,
Which
you
is also
guys do
weird.
the April Achievement Challenge. Like it's like like it's just
Yeah, I got 30k in that first week. And
Well,
that
yeah.
destroyed Kyle, so I stopped, basically.
Well, yeah, because Lee gets bored when there's no competition.
No,
Yeah.
that's right.
Oh,
And
mate, if
Kyle's-
you want some competition, we can sort something out.
Yeah, I sleep, though. I actually go to sleep.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
Big fish, small pond. Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Back to the question. I would love to try and finish Hellblade before the end of the month. I won't though. I had to replay it, and it'll be the Series X version actually, so I don't mind too much. And I had to replay it because some of the chapter achievements bugged out,
Oh.
and with the Series X update, it wiped your save, so you couldn't chapter select back. So do that again.
That's
Um,
annoying.
But in saying that, I'd love to finish it by the end of the month, but I haven't started yet.
Okay, right. I mean,
It's a
it's
wish
an
list.
You could do like 8 to 10 hours, you know.
Yeah.
You could probably manage it, you know, if you get a little bit of time after Christmas.
Well, yeah, fingers crossed, but then that would make me a bad host.
Yeah.
I know.
Just push Kyle in front and go, "Hey, Kyle, your turn," and then
You go talk to the guests.
go and talk to the guest.
I'm
Your turn.
gonna
I've done
take a
mine.
break for a minute.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Just sneak in 5 minutes of game time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so that's me.
I'm
Kyle.
hoping to get to finish some bits of Cyberpunk. Saying that, I'm nowhere near finished the game, and I'm about 80 hours in. So, you know, if I can scrounge another 80 hours or so, I might finish Cyberpunk this year. But then, of course, the Witcher update is dropping today or tomorrow at some point, and so maybe have to restart that. Yeah, finishing games doesn't really happen here.
I'm going to call it now. You're going to finish it, and then as soon as that happens, they're going to announce the release date for the Idris Elba. And he's going to be like, "Come here, Kyle. Come back to me, buddy."
I missed you.
That
Love it.
reveal actually
Love
looked
it.
pretty cool with Idris.
It looked really cool, didn't it? Yeah,
Looks fantastic.
looks awesome.
It's funny. I actually have Hellblade on my list as well. I need to go back to that one. Age of Empires 2 and Gunfire Reborn are the other two big ones. And then I've just got a whole lot of ridiculous, As Dust Falls, all this other Game Pass games that I've played. I just need to clean up.
So I was talking to Kinsman about this. He says I should finish a game before starting a game now, rather than just starting lots of games. Just actually try and get some games finished. I know, Cam. Come on.
I mean, what you should be doing is finishing 2 games before you start one.
Well, yeah, that's
But
what he
that-
tried to do last year, but that sounds really hard to me.
It is hard. It's really hard.
But I have got a whole bunch of baby games I started and kind of got the first 8 achievements and then didn't bother the last 2 because they required me doing an extra half an hour or 20 minutes or something stupid.
Yeah.
So I just go, I just can't be asked. I've got 800 points out of it. That's fine. So I probably could. Yeah.
I think it's pretty much the case, though. Personally for me, and that's going to tell me I'm wrong, but it is the case of complete the story, get as much value you want from the game and then move on. I don't really care for lists that are, really tedious at the end.
Unless you're enjoying the game
Yeah.
Right.
as it stands, yeah.
And to be fair, if you could describe the end of the list as tedious, you're probably not enjoying the game that much,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I know, but it's a collect like Batman's got collect 60 batarangs, 60 story pages, 42 pages or something. I'm like, really? Really? There's 300 things to collect at the end. I'm like, I don't know if I can be bothered to do that. That sounds like a lot. And there's guides out there, but they're massive.
Yeah.
Got 60 different places to go to on the map. Yeah.
But what about you guys? What are you going to try and finish before the end of the year?
I've only got really 2 that I want to try and get done because I think Nobody Saves the World is probably going to leave Game Pass in January, and so me and Mike are trying to work on that and bashing our heads against it. We'll get there, but I've got some time off over Christmas, so I get roughly about 3 weeks off from work. So that's because we have shutdown period, so we're completely and utterly closed. So I will hopefully be able to get a lot done. Cross fingers. But we're also going to be in Taupo, so there's going to be a lot of beach time and not much
Oh, nice.
sitting in front of a TV and an
Xcloud.
Xbox,
Oh,
unfortunately.
I'm so jealous.
Xcloud.
But
I'm
I
so
literally
jealous.
just have this, so I can't play Nobody Saves the World
just-
on my phone.
You just need one of these.
Yeah. Love
I've
those
already
things.
got my Christmas presents. I don't think I can ask for more. That and then Monkey Island. I want to finish Monkey Island, but
Is
it's
that
just
good?
a grind now. It's really good. I love it.
It's really good.
I love it so much. It's so good. But I've literally just got to grind out the trivia cards now, and I kind of just left that for the last part, and I'm just going to run through the story and just have fun with it and just try and find as many cards as I can. Yeah. That's what I'm working on.
Cameron, what about you?
Oh, I said, like, I've got my list,
Did I
but yeah,
say?
like Hellblade, Age of Empires 2, Gunfire Reborn. Like, Gunfire I'm so close with, but that nightmare difficulty is no pushover.
Mm.
I swear I've done, like, 15 hours in the last 2 days trying to get that run complete. It's rough. Fun, but rough.
I'm going to try and do the Eliminator by the end of the year.
What are you missing on it? Is it winning with the first car? Is
Just
that
got to
right?
win once. I just have to win. That's all I got to do.
Oh, just win once. Oh, wow.
Just got to
okay.
win once. That's it. I just got to win. I
Oh,
just need one lucky break.
This
You
is
could-
How
Oh,
annoyed
oh,
with you...
what?
how
I
annoyed
mean, we
with...
could all just let you win.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah, exactly. If I can set up a...
I was going to say, I'll just jump in at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
sure.
we do that? Because I haven't got
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, as long as the queue's right.
If like 6 of us jumps in at the same time, would we be the party, the whole race?
I mean, we could, yeah, as long as you start shutting out the competition and stuff, you could potentially. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
That's how they did for Forza Horizon 4,
Mm.
because it was an achievement for winning with the first car,
Hmm.
which was a nightmare. Yeah, so I'd like to get that done. I need to finish up a few more Game Pass things. Like Nobody Saves the World. Like Charlotte said, I'm probably going to be leaving, so I probably want to start that. But I think the one that I really would like, I would really like to start Danganronpa 3, but you know, unlike the other ones, which were like, oh, you know, 40 hours, it was like 100 hours. I'm like, oof.
What
I'm
was the
not gonna-
game? Sorry.
Danganronpa. It's on Game Pass. It's a visual novel / detective game where essentially
Yeah.
murder mystery. It's very interesting. It's one of my weird niche games that yeah. I'd recommend
It's
it.
very Japanese.
It's very Japanese. Yes.
Okay, haven't heard of it.
There's 3 of them so far. They also did a few other series that are also really, really good. I also never got around to doing my my Game Pass challenge game, which was Outer Worlds,
Mm.
which I need to actually just go and do because I feel like it'd be a game that I'd really, really enjoy. But yeah, that's kind of all I've got. I mean, I don't super do the milestone stuff anymore. I just try to clean up what I can. But, you know, I've got quite a few games in there. You know, like we've got Halo Wars 2 to do. We've got Modern Warfare 2 to do. We've got As Dusk Falls. You know, there's a bunch of cleanup in there. It's just like, hey, probably should
Have
get that done.
Have you played oh, Kyle, sorry, what's that game? Persona? Have you
Yeah, Persona 5?
100%ed?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
You did that
was-
already?
It was so good. It is.
I'm all
Spoiler alert, it might be making an appearance later in the show.
Oh,
But yes, it was absolutely fantastic.
So
and
how many hours? How many hours did you put into that game?
Was
You're listening, Carl.
yeah? How many hours did I put into
yeah,
this
and
game?
Matt would have been efficient
many.
as well.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time playing that game. I went overkill and did like more than just the achievement stuff. I basically did everything else that I could in the game. It took me, it looks like just under 100 hours.
Okay.
I think roughly. I mean, yeah, I think it was like right on the cusp of 100. Yeah, I put 80 to 100 in TA, and I think my TA says 108, so somewhere between there, so maybe just over 100. It was great. It was an absolutely fantastic game, and the new one, the 4 and 3 are coming out in January, so that's gonna be
Yeah. January's going to be a busy month.
yeah.
Yeah,
January's gonna be-
are we concerned about this? Trying to clean up before the last new games come out in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah,
As in
Mhm.
High on Life's coming out and
The problem is 2023 I feel like is going to be a massive year for games to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm
Well,
trying to clear as much in my annual leave, but it's not going to be likely.
yeah. I really feel like it's the stuff that, because so much stuff got delayed from this year that's just going to drop next year, that it's like, and then plus things that were actually supposed to be coming out this year.
Mm.
I'm very, very curious. Is it like the Q1 or Q4, depending on how you do it? January to March are going to be absolutely packed.
And then
So
all the DLC and the title updates from the games that have completed this year.
the Forza 5 DLC that's coming out as well.
yep, of course, yep. Because
Yep.
why would I ever get to put that game away? I said I'd do it. I got to do it.
You did.
For the children.
Yeah, exactly. You know me, big fan of them. All right, we also
Couldn't
got
eat
a
a whole
question.
one though.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No King Solomon's. So we also got a question here from Angel XC asking about Microsoft acquisitions. Do you think that Microsoft's new acquisitions are a smart move for the company or causing too much of an upset in the community, and why?
I guess it depends which community you're referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gaming community in general, I don't really think cares. The Twitter community definitely does.
Yeah.
Our community, we've talked about it on the show quite a bit.
We follow it, but more from like this is actually like hilarious. Let's get our popcorn.
Yeah, okay.
Although,
I'm so
I
glad
would
you
say-
did that.
Entertainment value, not
Yes.
The only game I want
because
really is
we're that,
Diablo
like-
4. I only want Diablo 4. That's the only one I actually care about of all the games they're bringing out. So to get that out for free would be amazing.
World of Warcraft on console. Come on, don't you want to just
No one's playing
get
that
rid of the
game.
rest of your life?
I have not gone back to that since my ex deleted my character.
Yeah, it's so rude.
So I'm just interested to see what happens in the future with it. Like, will World of Warcraft come to console? Will we get like more perks? Will there be like free membership packed in with your Game Pass subscription? What are they going to do with King?
Yeah.
Like, will
That's
King,
where the money's going, isn't it?
will we be getting Candy Crush achievements?
Do we care?
Keep forgetting about that.
I mean, look, I can, we've got parents here that play Candy Crush. We can just pass them a mobile. And
We do.
It's all fun.
Just get them to get achievement for you.
I'm pretty sure that's how Kirby finished Solitaire.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm just more so curious to see what happens. I'm just sick of it being in the news of being like, this happened this week. It just feels like a really boring year to keep talking about it.
I mean, I'm interested in it from a business perspective and from like a legal perspective and kind of like how this kind of sort of shakes down and what side people fall on. But at the end of the day, I don't really think it affects us all that much. Most of these games are going to come to Game Pass, whether the merger happens or not. I'm sure Microsoft would like it to happen. I'm sure Sony wouldn't like it to happen, but I don't think it's really going to impact us as consumers, especially considering we're on Xbox most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're interested in it from a business perspective. I'm with Charlotte, and I'm interested in it from a popcorn perspective.
Yeah.
It's just entertainment.
I will add, I'm interested in it in a prospect of please bring back Guitar Hero in some form.
Oh,
You can keep dreaming.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
They
I'd
might
love
bring back
that.
Tony Hawk though.
Oh yes, Tony Hawk. I'm looking forward to it simply because Phil has said that he's keen to revive the dead RPs that Blizzard have. So like we'll get StarCraft back. We'll get, all the things that they've kind of just left to the wayside. Give us StarCraft. Give us StarCraft Ghost, you cowards.
Oh my god! Okay, actually, I'm back on board. I'm back on board.
You know what?
Brilliant.
If Age of Empires is able to come to console, StarCraft 2.
StarCraft 2. Yeah. I would play StarCraft 2.
And Diablo properly and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Be great. Have that answered your
I'm
question,
excited.
Angel?
Games, lots of games. I know a lot of people play Call of Duty. I think that'll help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of COD people out there. I see it all over my friends list. People playing COD at the moment, so that'd be huge if it came to Xbox.
MGB says it would mostly just mean that Crash, Spyro, and Pro Skater will run away with Activision only wanting to release COD. If Xbox gets them, we might even get more IP returns like Soldier of Fortune and Singularity.
I would love another Spyro though.
Spyro is... They're doing more stuff with Crash, but Spyro is
And Crash.
deadish at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did their remaster and it was
They did
Yeah, the
the
game came out
remaster,
not
and
long
that's
ago.
not
A couple
really-
of years ago for the remaster, wasn't it? It wasn't that
yeah, it
long
was
ago.
and it was amazing and like
Yeah.
it was super nostalgic and basically looked like how I imagined it as a kid.
it was incredible.
Give
I
me a
love
kart
it
racer.
so
Just
much.
Give me a kart racer. Xbox kart racer.
Well, they did announce they were doing some sort of new. There's going to be some new Crash Bandicoot thing, right? I think they announced at the Game Awards. And speaking of which, actually, we should probably get onto the Game Awards stuff. I'm just going to go through the categories because we are running a bit already.
It's all good.
Not super. We did talk about a few of them last time, but we'll just cover a couple of the categories because a few of them we don't really care about, to be honest. I mean, it is basically just a big marketing event anyway. But Game of the Year, of course, went to Elden Ring. which, completely correct. Anyone who disagrees with me is obviously no idea what we're talking about.
Were you not surprised? I was expected to be God of War. I thought that would have been everything.
I would have
Yeah.
actually, to be honest, like joking aside, I would have been fine if it was either of them. I could definitely see either going either way. I definitely think that Elden Ring had a larger impact in terms of like wide appeal. Like people who didn't even know anything about Dark Souls and didn't know anything about like Soulsborne games were talking about Elden Ring.
And it was legitimately well sold all year as well. Like it did well all year.
Yeah, and it's also it's also going to make an appearance on my list as well. Best game direction was won by Elden Ring as well. Best narrative was won by God of War Ragnarok, which, you know what, like I don't think Elden Ring should win that. The narrative in Elden Ring is pretty.
Yeah,
I mean, the story is pretty good.
I watched the show. The amount of God of War Ragnaroks that came like one after another really made me wonder like whether they were going to get Game of the Year as well. I'm glad Elden Ring actually got it.
Yeah, Elden Ring got a few in there still. I mean, they got best art direction, but yeah, best score and music went to Ragnarok as well. And there was a few others. Accessibility, I think Ragnarok got as well.
Yeah.
And then we get to what I think is the biggest upset of the entire thing. Out for best indie game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside traditional publisher system. So we had things like Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Tunic, and Stray. Now,
this is bullshit.
This is absolutely like so. Stray won this category somehow, which I just don't understand. Like I really feel like a case can be made for Cult of the Lamb or Tunic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, can you help me understand your not understanding? Because I don't pay attention to indies, so why is it a big deal?
Stray does not feel like an indie at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Too good looking.
Stray's like edge of double A.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that a thing?
I mean, it's
Okay,
it is
I'm
sort
just
of
checking.
it's sort of
Kind
semantic at
of.
this point.
Okay,
But also,
like,
was it that good?
it's-
Because it's just a cat
No, it
simulator,
wasn't.
really, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
nah, it wasn't even really that good. Like Cult of the Lamb or Tunic. Tunic is freaking
Tunic's was awesome. Yeah, I want to play that game.
So good.
As much as I like love Cult of the Lamb, the state that it launched in, that would have been its biggest caveat. Neon White, though, everybody that I've talked to that's played Neon White loves it. Neon White should have won it.
But in saying that, you look at Twitter for the last couple of weeks, everyone was just posting Vampire Survivor gifts and
Yes.
things.
Yeah, definitely.
That was debut.
And so yeah, they had another category which was debut indie game, and so Vampire Survivors was in there instead.
Do you
of
think it came
Sifu.
out too late in the year to win?
No, it's been in early access for like majority of the year, and people have been talking about it for ages.
Oh, okay.
It's only just because it's hit Game Pass that people have started paying attention in our community. But other communities been very aware of it, and like I think I was listening to a podcast a few months ago, and they said they got it sent to press kit that was really just a vampire cape and garlic, and that was it.
What else do you
Oh,
need?
great. Free garlic.
Yeah, just something like that. It was just like, yeah, cool. That's all the press you need to do for it, to the influencers. But yeah, I think Vampire Survivors should have won this. Easy.
Yeah, I think for like a debut from an independent studio. I mean, again, I could see Tunic, considering how long they've been working on it and just how amazing it was. But
Tunic
It
is
came out
just
polished,
amazing.
didn't it? It was really
It-
polished.
yeah, it
and
came out-
finished, yeah.
It's such a perfect game. It's you have to play it and play the entire thing to really understand it and to like be like, oh my god, this is the most amazing game. If you only play a little bit of it and you get confused and you just stop, you're not gonna like it because it is complicated. It's very strange because you don't really know what's going on until you get halfway through the game and you're like, actually, oh my god, there's this mystery going on. What is going on? I love it. It's a very, very good game.
And content creator of the year was Ludwig. Yeah, no surprise there.
No surprise.
Yeah,
Most
we did pick that.
Most anticipated game. We had a bit of a debate about this. So the options were Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. So
Surely
I was,
Starfield or Hogwarts.
right, I was
would
all
win
in on
that.
Starfield. I was like, it's
Yeah.
got to be Starfield, right? Turns out I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because apparently Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which actually on reflection
We should have guessed that.
Okay. I looked back at it and I was kind of like, well, it would have got press around the fact that the Queen died as well.
I don't think that's why.
I don't think it's why, but like it would be more front-facing in people's minds that are not so much in the gaming community as well.
Could be.
But yeah, I mean, like any of these games could have won, and I would have been.
What about Hogwarts though? Because that's multi-platform as well, Hogwarts. Whereas the winner is actually a single platform. Same with Starfield, single platform.
I think true. J.K. Rowling. That's the only reason.
Yeah,
really, she's been cancelled, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I also think that Warner Brothers is also going through their own troubles at the moment with some of their releases and kind of their sort of
It's a bit of a combo deal going there.
business with all the delays. Having said that, Tears of the Kingdom has been delayed so many times. Yeah, I thought it would have been like Starfield or Zelda, but I was really thinking Starfield was going to be the one, considering we're so close to release. People are really excited for it, but you just can't beat a Zelda release.
But Microsoft were very quiet that whole event, weren't they?
Yeah, there wasn't basically a single announcement for any of their stuff that they're doing, which they actually came out and said, "Hey, we're looking at doing some events next year." But
once we win the court case, we'll do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they were keeping very, very quiet until around this whole FTC stuff. And then the last one was Best Adaptation was won by Arcane, was based on League of Legends, beating out Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, which I imagine would probably be a close second. And then
Arcane's good. I've watched the first couple episodes of Arcane. It's really good.
Arcane's
fantastic.
Really well I think League of Legends is absolute trash. And so I was more than surprised than to see how good Arcane was. It had no right to
Uncharted end up on this list?
How did Sonic not win?
I think they just
it's rubbish.
Yeah. I like Sonic too, but it's not.
It's not that good.
I watched it again on the weekend because Persephone twisted my arm. It's like, Sonic 2 again. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Uncharted, they just put it on there because they needed 5 to round it out, I guess.
That's right.
But yeah, that was the Game Awards. Literally no surprises except for the fact that that Stray got nominated for Game of the Year at all, and then the fact
but PlayStation.
Right, and then the fact that it won both of the indie categories is just an absolute travesty. Yeah. I will not make the original joke I was going to make there, but if you want to PM me for it, it was very funny.
Okay, we'll just laugh and pretend.
Yeah, perfect.
Do you want to put it in later?
Yeah, exactly. I'll poll it and see if people think it's appropriate or not. And then if people vote no, then I will put it in. Yeah. All right. There were also some reveals. I won't go through the whole list, but again, the reason actually people watch the show was actually not because they care about the awards, but because they want to see all the trailers. So Final Fantasy 16 got some stuff there. From Software, they announced that they're doing a new Armored Core, which looks amazing. Hades 2, of course, was the big one that everyone's very, very excited about.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Ken Levine's new game, Judas, is finally coming.
Bioshock in space.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about this one because didn't he leave to avoid making more Bioshock, and this looks exactly like Bioshock?
Yes. To be fair, he left a long time ago. Like Bioshock Infinite was what 2013.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years. Death Stranding 2 got announced. Some stuff for Cyberpunk.
I want to say about Death Stranding 2.
Some stuff for Cyberpunk.
Idris Elba is going to be in Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I
want to say about Death Stranding 2, I found it interesting that after COVID, Kojima went back and rewrote the entire script.
Well, with Death Stranding being just a postal game, do you think he's just frustrated that no post is getting through? And so he's making the second game as like a training platform? This is how you guys deliver post.
Will it get delayed? Will it get delayed?
Is the question. Boxes. This is how you walk up a hill.
So sorry. So he got COVID, and then afterwards he rewrote the script.
No. During COVID, because of the events.
COVID.
Yeah, because of what happened with COVID, he rewrote.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't having crazy fever dreams and.
No,
maybe
that's just Kojima normally.
Almost certainly was.
Okay. Yep.
The man is completely nuts. I love everything that he does, but he is
Did you see his marketing video he did when he stood in front of the Twitch logo or something that time? There's a weird video of him talking.
No, I need to look that up.
What was it on? It was on something. It was sat there going, "What are you doing, bro?" And all you could see was this massive Twitch logo or something behind him. He was just shilling. It was all he was doing was shilling, and he was on this award show.
But I will take it on a tiny tangent. When Metal Gear Solid 5 was announced, quote unquote, when it was supposed to be the game was called Phantom Pain, he was like, I remember they did the whole thing where it was like it was a fake company that was releasing it. It was definitely wasn't Metal Gear Solid, and like the developer came out and he was covered in bandages, so you couldn't see what his face was. And like he shows the trailer, and then the guy interviewing points out, I was like, "Hey, isn't that like a Hideo Kojima logo in the corner of the thing there?" And then just like smash cuts to him being like, and then they just cut away from it, and it was so cheesy and amazing. It was just like it was so over the top. I love it.
That's so good.
Oh, dear.
Jedi Survivor has a new trailer that looks. I mean, I'm going to be buying this day
Phenomenal.
one.
Yeah.
I do
It
not
does look
care.
amazing.
I loved Fallen Order, so Survivor looks great, and it comes out right after my birthday, so that is perfect. Diablo 4 looks really, really good.
Just
I
after
honestly,
Activision get purchased.
Yes,
I just
Right.
want a day one Game Pass because I have never been excited for a Diablo game, but this has sold me.
it does.
Oh,
look like this.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
So good.
I'm so hyped for Diablo 4. I think it's exceeding my Starfield hype.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so as well.
It's
Yep,
impressive,
I'm with you.
actually.
Street Fighter 6, no one cares. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. They're finally going to have some stuff to show about it, which is great because they've been teasing it for
It's
a
the
long
last.
time.
It's the last game Kevin Conroy voiced as
As
well.
Batman.
That's
yeah,
true. It
which
is. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
There's going to be there's a Mario movie if you haven't heard about it. Tekken 8's coming out. There's going to be some characters that you might have heard of in it. There's going to be DLC for Horizon Forbidden West.
Who could have seen that coming? It's going to
Yeah.
launch the exact same time as the Elden Ring DLC. Calling it.
Yes. Yep.
Calling it.
Yeah.
There's going to be some sort of Crash 4-on-4 multiplayer game that no one's going to play.
That was cringy.
Multiverses. Wow.
Yeah, but yeah. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, which is a bit of a mouthful, but I'm excited for that because the first one was really good. Earthblade, people who made Celeste, which I mean art-wise looks amazing, but it's not coming out till 2024, so I'm not holding my breath. There's a Bayonetta thing happening, some sort of spin-off.
So Bayonetta thing. If you played Beyond Eyes, it looks like that kind of watercolor kind of game.
Okay.
And then the chat was just scrolling, just like, this isn't Bayonetta. She's not half naked.
Oh,
And I'm just like, these are kids you're
Which is the
talking about.
truth.
This is really weird. Hellblade looks sick.
Hellboy, you mean?
Oh,
Hellboy.
Hellboy, sorry.
Hellboy, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a roguelike, which I was like, oh, cool, Hellboy. And then the roguelike, I was like, oh, cool, never mind.
I honestly thought this looked like just the art style at the very start of the trailer looked very Wolf Among Us.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Hellboy was a comic book, right? So they're
Yeah.
taking that style, which
Like
I think
that
works really well.
Style looks great, but yeah.
There's some sort of crime boss thing going on. Which,
Always.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna have. It's basically it just
Chuck.
looks. Yeah, Chuck Norris is in it. Like it looks like they were just like, hey, the Expendables was popular. Let's just do like a crime boss thing with it. It looks real cringy, to be honest. But Vanilla Ice is in it, so.
It's all the guys that are kind of the backup actors, isn't it?
Yeah,
Other than
exactly.
Chuck.
Yeah, it's your all your like C lists. Like it's like Chuck Norris, Danny Glover, Michael Madsen. Like I like Michael Madsen. Danny Trejo and Vanilla Ice. It's a stealth action.
And
starring
Is he still
Vanilla
alive?
Ice. Apparently, yeah.
This is what he's been up to.
I mean, the
He's been
last
selling houses, isn't he?
the last I heard of Vanilla Ice was that he was still going to do concerts during COVID. Which
oh
I think
god, okay.
I think the responses to that were like I think that would be safe because it would be a gathering of less than 10 people. So he was fine.
Wait, no, isn't he the guy that wrote Can't Touch This?
Um,
No, he said Ice Baby.
Ice Ice
yeah, Ice
Baby.
is baby.
And
But
they got
Oh,
ripped off the dum 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 dum.
yeah, although he
got
was
sued
ripped
for
off Queen
He did
Under
rip it
Pressure.
off, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Because if he was the guy that wrote Can't Touch This, and I think that's a pretty COVID safe.
Yeah, that's
Touch This is
that's
MC
MC
Hammer, isn't it?
Hammer.
Yeah.
MC
That's the
Hammer,
one.
Oh dear.
That is very safe for COVID, yeah. You are correct.
Parachute pants are also good for enforcing social distancing.
Stay away from me.
Yeah. Lords of the Fallen, they've got a reboot, which I'm super excited for because the first one is like not great, but it's cool that they're doing more of them. They're doing some Last of Us stuff, Returnal, no one cares.
On the PC though, that's a PlayStation game to PC.
Yes,
And
yes.
it
so
was a huge game at the time when it came out.
That's true, yeah. But both there, Last of Us and Returnal are both coming to PC.
I find it funny that the PlayStation community is complaining about that wherever I see it.
No.
Like, oh my god, less PS5 exclusives because they're coming to PC.
more people get to play this game and enjoy it. How fucking dare they?
It was also pushed at the time. Oh, it needs the super speed SSD that only the PS5 can do. Now it's on PC going, oh yeah, does it really need that SSD or could you just slap it on a USB hard drive, you know?
Well, I'll run it on my 1070. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Surely.
Some crazy person got on stage.
Yeah, some kids. Yeah.
And then got arrested.
Yeah.
How,
You know
how
what?
old was he?
After-
Do we know?
He's 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
he's just a kid.
Oh, it wasn't Kotaku. Who's the other one? I was reading an article on the drive back yesterday, and it was essentially 3 years ago. He was actually doing all this viral stuff as well, standing up for. Sorry, not standing up for. Like discussing Hong Kong and China and all that stuff. Like he has had virality in the past, standing up for good causes.
Okay.
But yeah,
Who?
just
The
He just-
15-year-old?
the 15-year-old. Yeah, went back when he was
okay.
12. He back in
Must have
2019.
not picked the right.
Well, yeah. So, hey, my turn. Real quick, I want to thank everyone and say that I'd like to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi, Bill Clinton. Thank you, everyone. And then he was arrested.
I said,
So,
unfortunately, he just turned into a shit
Free
poster.
Bill Clinton.
I'm confused. But he wasn't supposed to be on the stage.
Very
No.
much
He-
not. No,
No.
He is in the gaming industry somehow?
he's like
No.
a
No, he
streamer.
bought a-
Oh,
he-
like he's a
he bought a
streamer.
streamer.
Ish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's a streamer.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he just ran on
Yeah.
stage, and Hard Drive, the sort of video game Onion, ran the headline. Was a youngest ever. Yeah, it was. I think it was youngest ever speedrunner completes racism any percentage run on
Yeah.
stage.
Fantastic.
That was like perfect. Yeah, I think the other one they also ran on top of that was Elden Ring developers accidentally summoned wrong Ash of War on stage to accept award, and they just outlined him like he was a ghost, which I thought was just absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
David said security at the Game Awards. I was thinking this the entire time too. Like how is there not any security?
I mean,
Are you trying to say it's been set up and it's not real?
I mean,
No.
that would
Oh.
Oh,
be it's a
Ooh.
plant.
Maybe.
A plant.
I mean, like, to be fair, like, you have security for like really serious stuff. I mean, it's not the Oscars here, guys. It's the Game Awards.
I know it's not the Oscars, but you still have CEOs of like multi-billion-dollar companies.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure, but I mean, you go to PAX, you go to a
Yeah.
keynote, you see an important person. Anyone could run up there and do some crazy shit. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
guess.
they just we have to trust in the social cohesion of the world, otherwise everything goes to shit. We have to trust that this is like an outlier and not what people actually like, because otherwise,
Also-
yeah.
Also, I mean, security is, I mean, it's important, but we're talking about someone jumping on stage when he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
security's top priority is probably physical violence rather than
Yeah,
some
fair
random
point.
jumping on stage.
100%. That's why you have a metal detector when you walk in, right?
Yep.
Like it's,
We've all seen what angry nerds do when they try and attack like politicians or big CEOs. It's either eggs, pies, or dildos.
yeah, exactly.
That's true.
You're forgetting
And then they-
shoes.
Yeah, well, no, yeah.
I don't know how many articles I've read in my life that presidents or ex-presidents have had shoes thrown at
shoes
them.
thrown at them. Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 got an announced window. Forspoken demo, which I think.
Baldur's Gate actually looked really, really good.
I mean, yeah, Baldur's Gate is amazing. That both of those games are top tier video. Like if you're
Top
like
tier.
if you are a real like CRPG nerd, you have already played them and you've already been playing this in early access. So,
Okay.
Transformers Reactivate looks like some absolute trash. 4v1, like I mean, it's made by Splash Damage, who like are the people who did Dirty Bomb and what was that, Brink, that wonderful, amazing game that everyone loved. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to go super well for them. Focus Entertainment and Don't Nod are doing a new game that's not a Life is Strange thing, which is cool. Called
That's pretty
Banishers.
strange.
About ghost hunting, which looks really, really cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
There's going to be Remnant 2.
That trailer looked amazing. I'm so keen for that.
I'm going to get roped into playing that.
Yep.
There's a new Magic first-person shooter coming out called Immortals of Avium. Not much known about that. Blue Protocol is going to be some sort of MMO stuff.
Getting released
After
out of
Us.
Japan.
After Us, not to be confused with Among Us, also got announced as some sort of surreal platformer that looks really cool.
Is it the sequel?
No, yeah, exactly, yeah. Among Us 2.
Mongoose.
Among Goose.
Yeah, Among Us.
I mean, we joke, but it did technically get more content.
Yeah,
It
Among
did.
Us did get a
Which
new
we
DLC.
now have to go and do.
Yeah, to play hide and seek or whatever. Imagine playing video games. Replaced looks amazing.
Yep.
And Vampire Survivors is now mobile. Dead Cells is getting Castlevania DLC. Valiant Hearts is getting a sequel, which is great because I love the original. Some game called Colossal Cave.
So the Valiant Hearts one's only coming to Netflix, though, right?
And mobile at this point, yeah.
No, mobile, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Netflix are putting it on mobile. Wild Hearts. There's gonna be some more COD, more Fire Emblem. Dune Awakening showed a trailer. Destiny 2 has a new expansion. Among Us are doing hide and seek.
Have you that Lightfall? It's awesome though. It's like Cyberpunk.
Does actually.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much it. Like again, it was a lot. They did flick through a lot pretty quickly. They did say they want to condense the show down. I think they got through like 6 awards in a minute at some stage there somewhere.
There was a few times like that where they just did like all the mobile compacted and all that. It was like you had your game reveals, you had Chris Judd's acceptance speech, which went for like half the bloody thing.
Yeah,
they had. I want to mention that Steam was actually, if you were watching on Steam, they were giving away a Steam Deck once per minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Judd's speech just kept getting longer and longer.
You can just see Gabe being like, "Oh, god damn it!"
Jeff Keighley's just poking fun at it, like after the fact, just like, all right, somebody got a fair few, and the fact that MILF Hunter was trending on Twitter because one of the winners was their Steam tag. So yeah,
I mean, you know, sometimes it's just how it goes. You never quite know what people are going to use for their tags.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that was the Game Awards. We have rushed through it a bit because we have our own awards to talk about right now, which are way more fucking
The
important
proper
than that
awards.
The
bullshit.
proper
We're
ones.
not selling out to any corporate shills. However, if you would like to give me some money,
Yes.
I will put any
take it.
branding. I'll put any branding you like. I don't care if it's for
Same.
dick pills or for Shungite or if it's for like some VPN bullshit. Just tell me, all right? I'll sell it.
Or what about that lords? You can be a lord now. You can put up that inch
Yes,
of
in
land
Scotland. Yeah,
or
exactly.
something.
Oh my God,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, that seems super legit. I'm 100% on board with that. How do you, the only thing I'm saying no to is crypto because even I'm not that scummy. Well, you know, we're gonna start as always with basically the worst things that we absolutely could not stand this year. Just because we want to hit it up with a positive note. This is probably going to be a bit more freeform for just some good old fashioned bitching. So if you got things that you don't like, the floor is open. Feel free. What have we got?
Kyle.
Okay. Need
I
for
don't like
Speed
Kyle.
Huntdown.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, don't
Oh,
say
you're talking about
that.
games.
Don't
Games.
say that.
Controversial.
We're talking about games, Lee. Don't throw anyone in person under the bus.
I wasn't even listening to Lee.
Kyle, why?
Kyle.
Need for Speed Unbound has the potential to be the next Underground, and they have completely crapped the bed by putting the worst soundtrack ever on a Need for Speed game.
Then you
It
just
is
mute
all
it
just-
and you play Need for Speed Underground over. That's
That is
solution.
like top tier music right there. That's like you stop playing the game just to listen to the soundtrack. Unbound is just mumble rap, ASAP Rocky nonsense.
Oh, no.
Kyle. Do you know what the shows? The kids of today
You're
have it all
old.
wrong.
You're
Yeah.
old. That's what it shows.
No, the kids that are wrong.
It's
Oh,
the
that's
kids
right.
that are wrong. This is the worst music I've ever heard in a video game in my life. And it's terrible because the game itself is so good. And they've just dropped the ball completely. I can't even bring myself to go back to the game.
Oh, no.
Wow,
you
he's
think
angry.
you think it would be so easy for them to just make, you know, Underground 3 and just like remix all of the old tracks that were in it, bring a couple of new ones in from those artists who are still around trying to make money.
Yeah, spend some money on some licenses.
Yeah, is that like, I mean, like to be fair, those licenses must be really cheap now because most of those people like are either dead. Or
Yeah.
well, exactly. So it's like whatever. Yeah, like they would just print money. Like it doesn't seem that difficult, right? Just put some neons on the bottom of the car, rip off everything out of Tokyo Drift. That shit's retro now. People love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's
I
really
see 2
disappointing.
artists I recognize, and that's it.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
so
And I'm
bad.
saying by name alone.
Wow.
Jeez.
Ah.
I'm high for Unbound because I'm getting it for Christmas, but I'm just gonna play on mute now.
Yeah, turn the sound off. Find like an Underground 2 playlist or something. Put that on the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the old like 2000s games soundtracks.
Cameron, I'm just going to point out that you're going to be playing Unbound. Unbound, was it?
Yeah,
Unbound the same way you play Race with Ryan.
Yeah, 100% mute it. Yeah.
Just mute the game.
I have 2 games that aren't like terribly awful, but they didn't live up to my expectations.
Yep.
First one would be Scorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Visually, like really appealing and all that, but the gameplay just fell really short to what I was hoping for. Not really much else other than say like, visually, yeah, amazing, but just, yeah, gameplay. It's hard to believe that the game was in development for what, like 8-9 years?
Some
Yeah.
ridiculous amount of time, yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one was Deathloop.
Oh, right.
I'm going to try and
yeah.
get back into it in the next 3 weeks, but it didn't capture, like, I was hoping it would really capture onto me.
That's funny. So it was massive on PlayStation. Everyone loved it on PlayStation. It's come on Xbox and gone really quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
although
know, it just-
Microsoft,
like-
yeah.
it hasn't caught me. And I might just...
Microsoft, yeah.
You go.
Microsoft
But I heard
haven't
no one
got-
talked to me. No one said to
Yeah.
me, "You should play. It's amazing." No one's ever said that to me. Like,
I don't think
Yes.
anyone will say that to you.
Yeah,
It's
so
that-
we had someone in our community that jumped into it and played an hour, 2, and just said, nope, not for me. And that was enough for me to go, oh, well, not for me either. Thanks.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like Microsoft didn't put a lot of marketing behind it. I think part of that is because they couldn't until it basically hit the release date, right? And then they were like, "Oh, it's coming out this week," and everyone's like, "Yeah, we know. We can count 12
and
months."
there's new skins.
We did
There's
work
a
that one
difference.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, we understand how a 12-month deal works. But they didn't really push it afterwards, and I guess it's kind of a weird spot for them to be in because they can't be like, "Oh, check out this brand new game, guys," because everyone in the wider community is gonna be like, "Yeah, you mean that one that came out a year ago that everyone's played and beat
Yeah.
to death?"
Yeah.
I'm excited to try it at some stage, but it's been in my like play later list. But when am I going to get around to that?
Angel in chat. They lasted an hour? That's impressive. Like, oh.
I mean, the main reason I'm going to try it is because I love Dishonored. Dishonored 1 or 2 are just absolutely fantastic games, and like they get a bit of a pass on that. So even if people are like, it wasn't that great, like I'm going to be like, all right, well, I'm going to go in, I'm going to give it a fair shake, but I am curious. Like, yeah, maybe that ends up on my try to get done by the end of the year list.
That's the other interesting thing too that I hadn't really considered. We're gonna have like 3 Bethesda games next year. Redfall,
Potentially, yes.
Starfield, and potentially more.
Mm.
I mean, we had 2 this year in the form of Deathloop and Pentiment, but
Yeah, well, we'll have Ghostwire Tokyo as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we were talking about. Right? Like Xbox has acquired all these studios. They're going to start games are going to start coming out.
So
Now-
3 years, wasn't it? Or something? They got Bethesda, so yeah.
Yeah, so it's about now things should be starting to start showing up, hopefully.
Yeah.
Any other complaints? Any other grievances people want to bring up? We're going to do the whole Festivus miracle here.
Well, I only got a list of 4 games that came out this year, and some of them are grey areas as well, which
Mhm.
I cleared with you guys before I'm mentioning this. So my disappointment of the year is Halo Infinite, and not the campaign because we haven't played that yet. I'm talking about the multiplayer. And this is because I can't think of another multiplayer game I've played where I die as quickly as I do in Halo Infinite. And I don't really like dying. So that's the only reason it's on my thumbs down list.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, I'm not, yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, though, that's perfectly reasonable. I mean, to be fair, there are so many complaints you could level at Infinite, and it's supposed to be a live service game, so I think that's perfectly reasonable to have in this year. They released content for it this year, so I think that's perfectly reasonable to have on the list. All right. Any other?
Yeah, so I was going to say Halo Infinite, and also for the reasons of it, I played the campaign. I was like, yeah, it's fine, and then the game died really. So yeah, but Forza 5 because I think they've thrown it in. Forza Horizon 5 just was a real disappointment, and then they brought out Hot Wheels, which was even more of a disappointment.
Yeah,
just real lazy. And
Feels-
Cameron's looking really sad.
No,
So-
I'm sad because I agree with you because it was such a
Okay.
massive step down from Forza Horizon 4 in my opinion.
Yeah, it's boring. Like the graphics are boring, the gameplay's boring. There's no new stuff to do. It's just
I wouldn't go so far as to say the graphics are boring. I think the graphics are just as good as 4. But I feel
just
like
as good as 4, but the environments are boring. Then.
Environment,
yeah. I feel the problem with Forza Horizon 5 is it just hasn't pushed the envelope enough. Like months before, I was like getting really excited. Like, all right, well they've done Hot Wheels, they've done Lego. What's the next big thing that they can do? And then
Hot
just
Wheels
to
again.
get Hot Wheels again was just like, and have it worse than what it was in 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I reckon it sucked compared to 3.
I think they really just shot themselves in the foot because they spend a lot of time getting Forza Horizon 4 up to like Series X spec. And instead they should have just gone, cool, we're just going to 60 FPS patch it, nothing else, and then just put all the
And
development
blow
into,
us away with 5, yeah.
yeah, into 5.
I think what they should do is how they're going to work on Motorsport, make it like a platform.
Yeah.
Like, just, like, you know, you're not going to really get much better than what it is currently. Just start building stuff out and have
So-
DLC packs.
Should they have done that with 4 then?
I reckon.
Yeah.
Have like a world map kind of situation.
I feel like it's probably also suffers from the fact that, you know, they used to have that cadence of you had a motorsport and then you had a Horizon and then a motorsport and a Horizon, right? So you had time for the technology to improve, you had time for them to stretch it out a bit, test new things. But this, they went, hey, Forza Motorsport or whatever the reboot they're doing is sure as hell isn't ready yet. So we just need another Forza Horizon to come out like now. And
Can you just reskin the last one, please? Yeah.
basically, yeah. And like, to be fair, like they did a lot of really good work, and like I love the technology behind it. And like, I have had a fantastic time with that game, but only because I haven't played a Forza Horizon since the first one. So it's been a very long time for me. And like, obviously, like I'm, as listeners will know, I'm not a driving game person. I was basically my arm twisted into playing that. But I had a
For the
great
kids. For the kids.
yeah. But I did actually have like a really good time playing through it. Outside of the Eliminator, I've actually enjoyed pretty much every part of that game.
See, like 3 was like here, 4 was like there, and then 5 was like that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how it's been. Like I wouldn't say it's like one of the biggest disappointments, like Kingsman said, but it's just it hasn't lived up to expectations.
For the audio listeners, Cameron had his hand horizontal for number 3.
I was there, sorry.
5 inches for Forza Horizon 4, and then 5 he was touching fingers on top of the 4th one.
Like
There we
right
go.
above.
Which goes to show you should be watching the video podcast.
Yes,
Yeah.
you should. But yeah, I can definitely see where you guys are coming from on that. I mean, they are releasing more content for it, and I'm curious to see if like is this going to be the new platform? Are they going to do a Forza Horizon 6?
So I put 60 hours into this game, so I did play it quite a lot, but I kind of got to the point where I was just like, well, I don't really see any point in more playing now because there's nothing new coming out on it.
Yeah, totally with you on that.
Also, Forza Horizon 2 and 360 got shut down, and I'm always sad. That's the major disappointment this year for me.
That is the major disappointment for sure. Any other complaints? All right, I've got a couple. Just a few. Scorn's a good one. I was very, very much looking forward to this. I think that the actual game of that game is some of the worst playing games that I played this year. I think if it was just a walking sim with some puzzles in it, it would have been perfectly fine. Didn't need combat, didn't need enemies.
You know what? They should have done The Witness as a horror game. That's all it should have been.
Basically, yeah. Like, look, if you want, like, they could have done The Witness. They could have done like Soma, where it's like you just have to hide and run away from the things. Like, it's a game that seems to be about stealth that doesn't have a stealth system in it, which is really, really unfortunate. I mean, thankfully it's quite short. Also, I don't understand anything that's happening in that game. I'm not even going to pretend to be like, oh, it's so deep and meaningful. Like, no, I'm a smooth brain. I don't get it. I did get all the achievements though, so it can't be that bad. I also played Hello Neighbor 2 this week, just because it came out of Game Pass. It's bad. Don't worry about it. It's trash. You can finish it in an hour.
Haven't we always said this about the Hello Neighbor games, though?
Yeah, all the Hello Neighbor games are bad. Every single one. They have not made a good game. They are Tiny Build are incapable of making that series.
I'm just really surprised that they got the money to throw around. Like, they were in a Mr. Beast video the other day promoting Hello Neighbor 2. And I'm just like, how the hell is it that... Like, how is it making that much money?
Yeah.
Well,
That's surprising.
They're doing like a TV show and stuff, so I guess maybe
Yeah.
there's like a franchising merchandise stuff there.
Oh, Overwatch 2 is a good one.
Overwatch 2
Yeah, I know.
is-
Overwatch 2. Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about Overwatch 2 until
Yeah,
the
see,
chat
that was the
started
thing.
talking about it.
I was like,
That's
oh,
the
yeah, that game
problem.
came out.
Nobody thought about the game because it's essentially exactly the same, but worse.
But worse.
Well, it's the first Overwatch game I've played, actually. I
Hmm,
never played the
okay.
original. Well, sorry. I played it once and I lost horribly and swore never to play it again.
I'm noticing a theme here, Simone, on multiplayer games where it's like, wow, I'm not good at this game. Rather than practice and put a bunch of hours into it,
I'm just gonna
fuck
stop.
these people. This game is clearly trash.
Yeah.
Which is,
Yes.
you know what, I'm not calling you out. Fully respect that because I do the exact same thing. I have no time for sweats.
Yep, there we go.
I'm also want to call out. I played this
Oh.
today and yesterday.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm
What
gonna
a
rage.
raid. Oh my
Yes,
god.
guys.
Oh my god! Wow, that is very shiny.
How are we?
It's very shiny.
So to anybody listening to the audio podcast, we just got raided by 60 people.
Woo!
Wow.
Welcome to our little
Oh.
corner of the world.
Hi.
These
No
are
free
recognizable
shit, yeah.
names. Thank you, Miss Cannon.
I'm just bitching and moaning about video games here.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
pretty much it gives you a real taste of what the show is actually normally like.
Well, welcome to the Complain Cast.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
We're talking about worst games of this year.
If we're slow to reply in chat, it's just because we're doing podcast stuff.
Yes, we are actually recording. So, again, we aren't doing like games we played this week because obviously we're just doing awards. But I'm going to sneak this in here because it was really disappointing. I played Chinatown Detective Agency, which is a sort of side-scrolling point-and-click detective game where you basically have to use the real-world internet to try and figure out, like your real-life internet to try and figure out puzzles.
Cool.
So, like, for example, one of the puzzles is like, hey, here's a stamp with some like characters on it. And an image, and there's like a return stamp on it. So you want to try and figure out or cancellation stamp. Try and figure out where did the stamp come from, what city it was from, and also some other details about it. So you need to like look up on Google. Okay, what can I see in the image? What can I use to search? Really, really interesting idea and concept. It controls really, really badly.
Oh.
I think the idea was that we're trying to go for like a dark and gritty sort of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego kind of thing. Because you could fly to different locations and solve puzzles, and it's like, real world knowledge helps with stuff. Like, there's a question around like you're trying to steal a copy of the Divine Comedy, and so you have to like you have to like know questions about like famous books and stuff. It was like a really interesting idea. Controls really badly. It has like a lot of like time limit mechanics, which is like the antithesis of what you want when you want to be searching for something. So you're feeling like, okay, I need to solve this puzzle, but I have literally 5 minutes before this person shows back up. So I need to quickly Google something. And like, there's a bit of pressure, but then I also need to go to the keyboard and type it in slowly what the answer is. And if I get it wrong, well, I might as well just throw it away.
Right.
It only saves also between cases. The cases are quite short, and there's only 1 or 2 puzzles. Like, really interesting idea, really, really poor execution, which is just really disappointing. Only about 6 to 8 hours. You can finish it pretty quickly. Also, not a lot of guides out there, but it is a game where you Google everything, so you can probably figure it out.
If you didn't have the time limit, would be better.
I would probably enjoy it more because I ended up using a guide because I was like, well, I don't want to get this wrong and have to replay this entire case. So I was like, I'm just going to find like a guide that, like, instead of me Googling what the answer is, I'm going to Google a guide that gives you the answer is and just cut out the middleman. Which is kind of like, it just kind of wasn't really all that fun. And like, I was quite interested by the story. It's kind of about like, it's set in the sort of near future in about like I think it's like 2037. And so the world's kind of gone into a, just slightly dystopian future. It's really, really interesting. And so you're like a private investigator who used to be a cop, and you basically get a choice of like 3 different people to work for in terms of like as a client. And there's like 3 big mysteries you have to solve that you kind of like choose your own adventure. So it starts with like tutorial, splits out of the 3, and then the third act is all kind of brings it back together with some slight variations. Lots of different endings. I really feel like if they kind of also introduce mechanics where they're like, this game is like, you need to hire a person, so you need to like expand your office. I'm like, okay, so I need to like manage my money and like do like expenses versus what I'm bringing in. It's like, no, you just do it once, and that's it. I was like, well, why do we do it at all then? And they're like, oh, I don't know. It feels like they had a lot of ideas and they just didn't it was very strange, but kind of disappointing. And then the only other one is Iridian Chronicles Rising. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up, or side-scrolling kind of RPG. That's just really grindy and kind of boring and not all that interesting. So that's all the complainers. Let's get into what we actually like this year. So I'm just going to go first, just to get out of the way.
Are we going to do it in like turns? Are we going to do 5-5-5s?
I'm just going to do it all at once, because otherwise we'll be here
Why
all
don't we
night.
just do it all at once? We've got the order, so we'll just go through
that's
that.
fine.
So I'll just go through. I got a few honorable mentions. Paradise Killer, very strange investigating game where you are a semi-immortal alien being who's trying to figure out the murder of another semi-immortal alien being, which shouldn't be possible, while on a very, very strange island. It is a game that is very, very strange to describe, but has a killer fucking soundtrack. It's so good. I listen to it all the time. I also found out they also released a B-side of it on Spotify. Really, really good. Highly recommend it. Beacon Pines, also really great storybook style. Short, not a very long game, but it's very cute. Has sort of Stranger Things, but with animals. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, great campaign. Really, really enjoyed it. Don't really care about any of the other parts of it. But for my actual top 5, number 5 is Zero Escape, the Nonary games. So you remember how we were talking about Danganronpa before the show? It's a very Japanese game, basically. It is a visual novel with some escape room elements, so puzzle solving, logic puzzles, that kind of stuff, while also doing like dialogue choices, playing mind games with people. It's a 2-in-1. You get the first and second game of the series. The third game they sell you separately, of course. Highly recommend it. Really, really good. If you're into like story games at all, it is a port, so you might have already played it on the DS, but for Xbox people, this is the first time potentially that you've seen it. Definitely recommend it. Great, great series. Number 4, Plague Tale Requiem.
Mm-hmm.
More of the same, but I was really happy with it because I think that Plague Tale Innocence is a fantastic game. It was high up on my game of the year list.
Quick question: were the puzzles more difficult than the first one?
Yeah, I think some of them were. Yeah.
Okay.
Not like hugely so, but there were some that were like you have more tools available, so there's also more ways to solve puzzles.
Okay.
And also, the combat is harder and easier in that like there are more ways to kill your enemies, but there are also more things to stop you from attacking enemies. So it's like it's more options means more complexity, which potentially means more difficulty. It's also, but it has really good accessibility. You can literally turn like a god mode on and never die, basically, if you're struggling with it. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I thought it was great. It would be nice if it ran at 60 FPS, but unfortunately it doesn't. I'm hoping they get there at some stage. But yeah, I think it's really the only knock against it. I have some problems with the ending, but obviously I'm not going to spoil that here. Thank you. Number 3. Number 3 is Tunic. Absolutely like a delight from beginning to end. If you don't know, Tunic is basically starts off as a Zelda-style sort of top-down looking game where you're a fox with a sword going and trying to do something. But most of the game is told in symbols that you can't understand. The game also has an in-game manual that you collect pages for and kind of reveals things about the game. The way I would describe it is it's like if you imported a Japanese game from somewhere and you can only use the pictures to try and figure out how things work in the game. So it's like you see, HP, or you see, here's a picture of something, and you're standing in front of it with this item. So maybe I'll try that and see what happens. It's like you learn mechanics through the game in a way that it's like, oh no, you could always do this if you knew how to do it, but you didn't know, so we're just going to teach you as you go along. And then like this game has mysteries upon mysteries upon mysteries. So it's like you get to the first layer and you finish the game, you're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then it's like, but what about this area or this door that I couldn't get into? What does this puzzle mean? What does this puzzle mean? What does this mean? And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. I've solved this and I've solved this and I've solved this, but what does this mean? It's insane the amount of detail that goes into this game. It's been in development for a long time, but great accessibility options. It has a bit of a Dark Souls element of like when you die, you drop your currency, you can go back and pick it up and that kind of stuff. But if you want to just put it on easy with no death, you can do that and just enjoy the experience. Highly recommend it. Everyone needs to play this game. It's in Game Pass, as are almost all of these games anyway. Number 2 is Persona 5 Royal, which again, sort of I spoiled earlier, but it is one of the best JRPGs I've ever played in my entire life. This game oozes style in a way. It's another soundtrack earworm. Like I've had Rivers in the Desert stuck in my head since I played the game. It's like I listen to it at the gym. It's just it's so good. It's basically it's a balance of like life sim in Japan, making friends with people, leveling up like
school sim. It's a school sim, no, this isn't. You're actually a school.
You're a high school student, and it's like so you got to like make friends with people, and the things that you learn in the real world also help you when you go into the dungeons. And so it's very like there's a lot of like structure, which I don't normally like. There's like a time limit for stuff, so you need to like optimize as much as possible. But also it has like a really great like new game plus mode where like you can bring your stats over and just slam your way through the game. But it's really, really fun. I really enjoy it. I actually like the social sim stuff even better than the combat. Combat's really fun. It's actually quite challenging. Again, great accessibility options, as I've been saying a lot. It has like a safe mode, which you can put it on that like if you die, you can just resurrect yourself and just keep fighting. Which I only ever had to use once, and it was by accident because I didn't realize I put myself in that mode. But I put it on easy and just had a really good time with it. But it has like a lot of complexity in terms of like status effects and abilities that are like big weaknesses and strengths and reflection and stuff like that. It also has like a Pokemon element to it where every enemy you fight in the game, if you weaken them enough, potentially you can capture their persona and use them in battle, which is really cool. And also it's a whole fusing mechanic. So it's like, okay, I've got this cool guy with this power.
Chop their head off, don't you?
Yeah, you basically put them into some guillotines, and they two of them into one. And then there's ones where you can put like 5 of them into guillotines and come with one super powered dude.
Nice.
You can put them into an electric chair and turn them into an item. You can hang one of them to power up another one. Like it's very macabre. But it's style wise, music is wise. It's very jazzy. I love the visual style of it. It's just loud and in your face. I know I've kind of messed myself up by playing this one because I know the 4th and 3rd one aren't going to be as good. I mean, they're still going to be good, but they aren't going to be like, this. Yeah. But I'm still very excited for them. And of course, to no one's surprise, Elden Ring is my game of the year. By far and away, the best thing that I've played in a long time. It came out at the beginning of the year and it has stuck with me this whole time. I blitzed my way through it. I smashed it before there were guides for it because I just wanted to play everything out of it. I love the Soul genre. Dark Souls is one of my favorite games of all time. Elden Ring is just absolutely fantastic. And of course, you don't need me to tell you any more about it because literally every person will not shut up about it.
Is it just me, but after Elden Ring, we've had so many like more Souls-like games like just start showing up? Not to the same quality, but I'm just saying more Souls-like.
I think it's probably a coincidence. I think that like Dark Souls kind of started something. Because you had Dark Souls and you had like The Surge, and then you had like Lords of the Fallen, and like Neo and things like that. And they just started coming out of the woodworks. People were like, this is actually a really cool way to play games. And then Elden Ring was just like, well, we're going to do this. They announced it ages ago. Here it comes out. And I think it just kind of ended up coming out with a lot of people with the similar ideas.
And Fallen Order, don't forget Jedi as well.
True, yeah. Actually, Jedi Fallen Order, which is, again, like Sekiro, Souls-like, fantastic game. Anyway, that's me. That's my game of the year. I've had it's been an amazing year for games. I've been sad that a lot of stuff got delayed that we didn't get to play this year, but I've been so busy that it hasn't been that. I've actually been kind of happy about it, to be honest, because I've had more time to really get into some really great stuff. Because typically, if you listen to the show, you'll know that I'm not the kind of person who usually jumps on a game the year it comes out. Usually, I'm usually a bit of a patient gamer, but there was just so much stuff this year that I just couldn't help myself. And of course, Game Pass makes that nice and easy. All right,
you've made me realize how much harder it's going to be next year to decide games with everything releasing.
Absolutely.
So, God damn it.
Is it a bad problem, really?
Just start every single game that comes out.
I mean, that's what I do anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to preface this with reminding everyone that we don't actually play new games on our podcast.
That's totally fine.
But I did do a quick count, and I think I have 5 games on my list that came out in 22.
Cool.
So I at least make that category, which is pretty good. I'm going to give a shout out to the pizza delivery boy that saved the world.
Oh
yeah.
We played this during our April Achievement Challenge, and honestly, I had no idea what I was going in for, but it was stupid, fun, funny, and it didn't overstay its welcome. It was a nice, quick 1,000 points, boom, done. I'm glad that's done. It was great. I'm glad I never have to see it again.
He laughed out loud on the couch here, just playing by himself several times.
It's good for what it is. I wouldn't ever go and replay it again.
Fair, yeah.
It's what you
There's
want
been a
from
lot
those easy games, though.
Exactly. Like, yeah, gets in, gets out. You have a great time.
Yeah,
Leaves a
you
good
look back
impression.
fondly on it for sure. Another game, Naraka Blade Point, came out this year, and kind of absorbed all of us for a bit, and we realized that actually we're pretty good at multiplayer games when you just have to keep spamming,
Bashing.
right trigger. You just
Yeah.
spam right trigger, and
Just
you
get the
win.
dual blades and then run at them. Yeah.
Yeah. The dual blades, you always win. So we all jumped into that, had great fun, and they've improved the game over time, which I'm super impressed with. They had menu music, which was terrible, and then they took it away, and then they brought it back apparently.
Yeah, we
we
found
just
that out
need-
recently.
That's great.
We need to wait for them to take it away again. It was absolutely terrible music. But yeah, Naraka Blade Point, really fun to just jump into. When I was been working from home, I found myself knocking off for lunch a little bit earlier just to go join the Naraka queue quick while I'm busy making something to
Cool.
eat. Heaps of fun. Haven't 100%ed it, but just in terms of achievements, but I'm just playing for fun. It's a whole great game to jump into, and especially with playing with Lee when you steal his kill and he gets quite annoyed. It's fantastic.
Constantly. Yeah.
Or you're like, here's some blue jaw blades because I've got the golden jaw blades.
My hand-me-downs.
Yeah, you can have this. It needs some repairs.
Yeah, or Lee gets into a fight and calls for backup, and Kyle's on the other side of the map.
Looking at something. Yeah.
Changing
Look at that
armor
dragon
or-
in the sky. Kyle, I'm dying.
taking screenshots. Another game that came out this year, which makes it onto my list simply because it annoys Lee so much, is Fall Guys.
Oh, guys. Oh, my God. Okay.
Another great, stupid multiplayer game that honestly has no longevity at all, except for when you're playing with Lee, because he gets so annoyed.
Especially you play groups and you're like, oh, I finished, and everyone's behind you, and then you lose, even though you've finished and you're perfectly kind of capable of doing the mission. And Carl's falling off the wall all the time or something.
Yep. I mean, what good is it playing in a team if you can't drag your team down to your level?
That's right, yeah.
There's always that great moment where you get through the finish line. You're like, yeah, I did it, and then
And
it
then
shows
turn
you where on the camera where your other people are, and you're like, wait, what is this?
What is he
What is
doing?
this?
What is going on?
You know what? That just reminded me of me submitting the screenshot competition of the one where I was like,
Yes.
that
You're
like,
jumping.
tiny little bit away.
Oh, that was so
I was
good.
robbed.
It was such. But you won the screenshot challenge.
I mean, I
So-
won the screenshot challenge, but I lost the match. So
I know. It's the important things.
The important
close.
things count. And I mean, whenever we play Fall Guys, all I need to do is go, whoops, whoops.
Whoopsie.
Lee's just like, oh no, what have you done?
Yeah.
Then he goes, that's a stupid game. I'm quitting. I'm playing something else.
It's uninstalled, that game. It's gone. It's not on my Xbox.
For your
We'll
mental
not your
health.
cup of tea.
Yeah.
We'll get you playing again over Christmas.
I don't see the point of a game where you basically don't win. Like you basically
Thank
can play
you.
200. You can play 200
Yeah.
rounds and win one, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe. But what's the point? I don't understand.
Totally agree. I mean, I finished it, but it was I wasn't sure if I was going to put it on my worst list or my best list, to be honest, with how much time I put into it this year. Because I had equal opportunities of like, man, this is the worst thing I've ever played. I'm like, and I'm the greatest gamer of all time. I'm absolutely demolishing this. These scrubs better get on my level. And then they did, and I was very upset about it.
That's right. Everyone caught up. Yeah.
Just how these party games work, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of party games, who's excited for Party Animals?
Oh yeah, it looks
Very
great.
keen.
I want to be a unicorn.
No.
That-
shoots me in the face.
I want to be a corgi.
Oh my god.
That
that'd be so
trailer-
good, corgi.
That trailer they showed off.
I hope they
was
have the
amazing.
corgi butts and their tails go. Like,
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my god.
it's even better.
Yes. We should
Very
play
nice,
with Lee. Yep. all
I'm
of us.
down. I'll
Cool.
play.
Brilliant. Now you have to
Carry
Lee for the kids.
I'm just getting that Lee doesn't like party games.
I don't mind party games where you have a chance of winning. That's all. That's all I require in a game. It's not much. Like that's all.
It's not much.
All I asked for.
That's all I asked for. Yeah.
And even though I did bitch about it, Need for Speed Underground is actually a very good racing game if you turn off the music.
Perfect. Right.
Cool.
It's you throw your cars into drifts and the little anime wings come out the car when you ramp and there's the anime smoke. It's so stylized, it's so smooth, it's completely opposite to Forza in that you throw your car into a drift by doing this amazing handbrake turn and you feel fantastic. You feel amazing. You crash into the wall and your car just bounces off into another car and you win the race.
How are
Yeah.
we? How are we in 2022 and not a single racer has implemented Spotify integration yet, or Apple Music or something like that?
We had that with Forza Horizon 3.
With the
Yes, we
Microsoft
did.
one,
Yeah.
and nobody's ever done it since.
I mean, how hard would it be? Just plug your Spotify or Apple Music or whatever into the racing game. Here's your playlists. Play whatever music you want because it's cool, and just race for your fun.
I think EA tried to do something of that with Burnout back in the day. I think it was something they were planning that never ended up getting off the ground. But it is surprising that they haven't made the deals yet.
It would be so good. I mean, with Need for Speed Unbound, it would be fantastic if you could just put your own music in it. Then it would be the perfect racing game to come out this year, I think.
You get the Spotify free advertisement as you're crashing into a wall.
You got upgraded premium.
No, it goes in front of your
Suck.
screen so you can't see the race. It kind of just goes across really slowly.
Some dancing person. You're like, well, no, no.
No, it's just bobbing across.
Wow.
I'm keen to
And-
play Unbound.
It's really good, but yeah, turn off the music. It is shocking. And now, even though this game did not, well, I mean, I have to give a shout out to Persona 5, first of all, before I get to Game of the Year. Fantastic game, like Matt said. Super stylized. Absolutely love it. I love my JRPGs. I could live in this game. It is so good. And I love the way that you get to about the 8th or 10th hour in the game and the tutorial gives up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cat-
It's like,
the
okay,
cat
now you
says-
can play the game.
The cat's like, if you ever see any red words, it's going into your tutorial book, but for now, I'm going to just stop telling you what to do. And then his very next paragraph is just red word. And you're like, I wish I knew what was going on, but I'm just going to press A and just keep fighting people. Fantastic game. Absolutely love Persona. But the game of the year for me, and I'm counting it as coming out this year because its Series X patch dropped this year and made it absolutely fantastic. Cyberpunk 2077.
Cool.
I see this as its proper release. It was 2 years in early access. Now it has been released. And boy, did they do a good job with this game. Like I say, I'm 80 hours in, nowhere near finishing. I keep trying on new pants and new shirts and new hats. And then wandering through the city and finding a vendor I haven't noticed before. And it's a knife vendor. Oh, what type of knives does this dude have? Wander off to him. He's got some cool knives. I spent all my money on our new knives. And I go, right, what was I doing beforehand? And I got to go do some missions. And then I wander past a vendor that's selling hats. Oh, what hats do you have? Golden hat. It does something slightly different to the current hat I have. I'm going to buy that hat. Now I've run out of money. What do I do next? Go do a mission. It's just been my way. I've kind of bumbled my way through Cyberpunk. So from a role-playing point of view, I think my character has a problem when it comes to games. Luckily, you can't gamble in that game. Otherwise, my character might have that problem as well.
Oh no.
But yeah, Cyberpunk, I think they've polished it up this year. They've gotten to their vision, what they expected it to be. And man, without a doubt, it has been the game I've spent the most time in this year. We did it for March. Lee just bashed it out. He was happy about it. His guy was wearing like a green corset with a golden beard and finished the game.
Amazing.
Tight little
More than
mini
happy.
skirts, my golden beard. I
Wow.
looked amazing. I looked incredible.
He was the complete opposite fashion persona to who I'm going for. which
I
is-
wore whatever made me better at fighting. That's how I
Exactly,
did
yes.
my
It's all about stats. It's all about
Crown
stats.
build.
stats.
All about stats.
Dad
No,
builds,
you gotta-
yeah, dad builds.
change your outfit depending on the mission. So when I'm meeting the important politicians, I have a special outfit I put on. My character wears the special outfit for the politicians. When I'm meeting with the tombs down by the pub, different outfit, different hat, different guns. It's a game I've just been absorbed in, and I wish I was playing instead of being here as.
Fair. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Well, I mean, eventually you could just, eventually that'll just be our cyberpunk reality. So you're just really getting ready for it.
Or just getting ready. So yeah, that's my game of the year. Not a very interesting list compared to yours, Matt, but
Diverse.
I do like saying whoops and just hearing Lee groan.
Yeah.
I think that's been the theme of the year, is just me going whoops and he just goes, oh no.
It's kind of great though.
That is great. All right, Charlotte,
Cool.
you're up next. What have you got?
All right. Well, my top 5 are going to be an interesting one because, like, I had some controversial takes this year. Throughout the year, I'm not going to go over them now because I'm going to leave them. Hey,
I didn't say
Hey.
nothing. What?
Hey.
Hello.
you'll be happy
Fight,
to know
fight,
that one
fight,
of the
fight.
games is in the top 5. Okay, but it's not my number 1.
Hey, give us a controversial one to start off with.
Well, they're
Skips
not
the
going to be
number
that
1.
controversial, but like the ones that I've left out is controversial.
Ooh.
I think. So I put in 5th place. I'm going to sort these around slightly because I've changed my mind in the last week. But Nobody Saves the World can be 5th place. It's still fun visually. I just have fundamental issues with the gameplay, and so does Mike. We've talked about this previously about how frustrating it is to be locked into a set way of playing, and how frustrating that me and Mike find it. I get why it would be fun for some people to play it, but I just don't like that. I want to be able to build the characters and play them how I want to play them, and you have to complete goals a set way, and that is just a little bit too frustrating for Mike and I, especially when we've put in so many hours and we're still not even close to finishing, and we're like, we're getting really tired of it. But like, the humor's funny, visually it's great, it looks great, and it is fun to play, especially when you go into the dungeons and you just fight shit. Like, that is so much fun. But the actual leveling up of the characters and the different types, that is the part that I have an issue with. I have a huge issue with that side of things. Next on the list is actually Escape Academy, because I had an amazing time doing that with Matt. That was so much fun, and I do love going and doing like escape rooms. So having a computer, like an Xbox version of an escape room, was awesome. That was so much fun, and we were like egging each other on to get faster and being like, hurry up, get upstairs, come on, you're in my way, hurry up, like pushing ourselves to actually complete them as quickly as we could. In 3rd place is Return to Monkey Island, which I still haven't finished, but I absolutely love this game for nostalgia and for gameplay. Like, I love it to pieces. It looks great. I don't even mind that it's got a different look to the originals. It's still Monkey Island, it's still Guybrush. I love it. I highly recommend people jump on it. It is in Game Pass, so you may as well, like, it's there. It is so good. In 2nd place, Cult of the Lamb. That is still one of my favorite games this year, but it is only beaten by Tunic.
Oh, cool.
Tunic has been my number 1 since February.
Wow. So it came out in February.
Yeah, I'm
Didn't
pretty sure.
Tunic release in March?
March.
Favorite
Sorry, I'm
March.
getting the March wrong. Sorry.
I was like,
March,
what?
then-
Oh, no, still. I thought it was later in the year.
It's still,
okay.
no, early in the year. So yeah, March.
Yeah,
there
March,
you
yeah.
go. So I started it. I think I watched my friend play it in March, and I started it in April.
Do we,
And
we had some event in March, and then it was like immediately in Game Pass, like a day or two later.
yeah. Because I watched my friend play it, and I was like, I have to play this game because it looked really interesting. I was like, that's really interesting, and he was already most of the way through him, like fighting a boss. And I was like, this is cool. So when I jumped on it, it had already been out for about a month, and I started it and then sort of left it for a little bit, and probably came back to it in June and ended up just getting trapped in it and just playing it until I completed it. It was one of the games that I got real stuck into, and I think it was once you got past a certain point, you're like, actually, this is really interesting. I have to know more. I have to know what the story is. I have to know what is actually happening with this little fox and why all the languages are in 2 different languages, because they created a language for this game. specifically for the game. And so like as you go through, you have to pick up pages for the guidebook, and it's like an original game guidebook, and that has all your instructions of what you're supposed to do. And if you do play it without outside help, because there are guides around, if you play it without that, all of the instructions are in this book, so you can decode them as you get pages. And there's heaps of like hidden stuff, so you have to find these hidden like fairies. They're like little wish orb things. You have to find them. You have to find, I think it's 12 different hidden little statues around the place. And to do them, you have to use a certain code, like, you know, your Konami code. And you have to do the arrows up, down, left, right, left, up, down, that kind of thing. And there's different codes for different things. So you have to do all of these and uncode a whole bunch of stuff. So there's this like mystery element. And then the game completely changes and you're like, okay, I thought this was the end of the story, and it's not. So I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. And if you get stuck with any of the puzzles, there's literally guides that will help with it, and you can still play and enjoy the game, but it just gives you a little bit of help because there's a lot of puzzles. There's about 3 different types of collectibles within the game. So it is tough, but it's definitely that my highlight of the year. Like, I absolutely love that game so much. And I have a couple of honorable mentions, mostly because I liked the look of them and I think people should play them. Beacon Pines, because it's cute and adorable and the story's great. A Memoir Blue, it's short but the story's good. It's simple, it's no fuss.
The
Kraken Academy,
I want to say
the music's amazing. Yeah, the music is amazing. Kraken Academy, which I also won a screenshot for.
Oh,
Broccoli Girl.
Broccoli Girl.
Broccoli Girl, that's right.
Oh,
The girl
how
getting
could I
stuck in
forget?
the slide, the water
Yes.
slide.
Char, I'm stuck.
Yeah. Okay, Broccoli Girl. And then As Dusk Falls, which we've still got to work on, but we finished one playthrough, so we're getting there. Okay, on to Simone.
Okay, well, my answers are gonna make all your guys' answers look really good. So I only have 3 games left out of the games that came out this year. And because I live in the same house as Kyle, one, our games overlap, and 2, we play a lot of multiplayer games together. I oblige, even if I don't feel like it. And one of those ones that I didn't feel like, but had a lot of fun in, was Fall Guys. And I'd love to play it more, to be honest. We just haven't, I guess. We played a lot of multiplayer games this year.
It's because you've realised it's not very good. That's why.
It's frustrating.
I was waiting for it.
It just took hours and
It's not
hours.
that bad.
It's fun to smack people in the game, I must admit. That's great.
Is that Kyle next to you when he falls off the
Well,
path again?
we haven't played enough to kind of differentiate ourselves all that much. So we're looking very generic. So everybody looks like Kyle. So I suppose I just go around and smack everybody.
That's good.
Okay, so then next is Pentiment. And that one's a tricky one because I haven't finished it yet. So far, I'm really enjoying it. If I understand correctly, there's 3 acts. Has anyone played it yet? Not yet.
It was on my
Yet.
I really wish I had. It's unfortunately just didn't get time for it.
No, that's okay. So if I understand correctly, there's 3 acts, and I haven't finished Act 1 yet. But it's a murder mystery, and the murder has happened. So at least I'm at the point where I'm very intrigued as to what's happened. And this one was surprising. Normally, I don't enjoy games that involve a lot of reading, but this genre works quite well for xCloud, which is what I was trying to play with this game, is 100% xCloud. So then I'm more in a reading kind of mood when I'm on my phone on the train playing. It's by coincidence, it's intrigued me because it's a part of history, the Holy Roman Empire, that's interested me as of late, and that I don't know a whole lot about. So I feel like it's a game mixed with learning, which
Sneaking it in there.
yeah, and a nice bonus as well. Plus, everybody enjoys a good mystery.
They
So that's-
do.
that's good fun at the moment. And then my number one of everything, and this won't come as a surprise, is Naraka. And I'll tell you why it's not a surprise. It's because I can win.
Oh yeah, okay. The
I
truth
can
comes
actually
out.
win. Yeah.
Cool.
This
Yeah.
game is great.
Mm.
I don't have anything extra to add that Kyle hasn't already said, but I can win. And I cannot think of any multiplayer game that I've ever been able to come first. So yeah, this is best multiplayer game ever for me.
Glowing recommendation.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and all the characters look really cool.
And they had a Fall Guys crossover.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
was-
also-
Oh, they did.
So
They
good.
did, yeah.
So good. So pointless, but so good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't.
Naraka
The
played
crossover was
pointless.
confusing because I
It was
thought
weird. Yeah.
I thought I'd be able to hit my ultimate and become one of the Fall Guys, but no.
No,
No.
it's just flags.
It's just
flags, isn't it?
in the loading area, you run around and you collect little Fall Guys, and
Oh.
then the real game starts, and it's just a normal game.
Well, kind
So-
of. You're getting smashed by big hammers.
Yeah, but that wasn't Fall Guys inspired, that particular. Was it?
So we need a-
No, you're right. I didn't recognize them because they were brown hammers as opposed to
That's
bright
right.
pink hammers.
Huh.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. That level was tricky because you could fall off the world.
Mm.
It was annoying.
Hate it when that happens.
Yep. The other nice thing about Naraka is I don't have a Series X, and it's a Series X game, and I was playing through the cloud, and it worked perfectly.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Surprisingly, I mean, I didn't even kind of realize I was playing through the cloud, and Kyle noticed, and he's like, "Oh, that's different," and I thought, "Oh, I suppose it is." Yeah. So yeah, there we go. Everyone should play. It's easy. I don't know what they've done to the controls that differs from PC, but it's crossplay, and console seems to have some kind of advantage, which is a
Okay.
nice change.
I need to clean it up. Those last two weapons are like massively overlong.
Yeah, I enjoy the fact a lot of the times you can win by default because it's a battle royale, so the circle gets smaller, and a lot of people don't run out that circle, and you can just win by running. Just stay in the circle, and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Survival of the
Leave circle.
quickest.
exactly.
All right. Cameron.
Okay, so I have a lot of honorable mentions. This was very hard for me. I want to say recommended, but I haven't had the time to play yet. Definitely check out Immortality and Pentiment if you haven't already. Honorable mentions that I have played. Surprising so far that nobody's mentioned Power Wash Simulator.
Oh
Just-
yeah.
Just because of how
Huh.
well it... I mean, like, a lot of us in the achievement hunting community probably don't care too much about simulators, but just as
It
something
didn't
that-
clean up any awards or anything, so.
I mean, it reviewed really well on Steam. It was like one of the most well-rated Steam games of the year. And in terms of a simulator game, like we kind of expect these simulator games to not have any level of polish to them.
Yeah.
But this
Look at the
game
wash
was
on
actually
Xbox.
pretty solid. Memoir Blue we discussed before. I just love the music for it. Dreamscaper, I've mentioned it countless times throughout the year. I really enjoyed it for something that was just had the feeling of Hades to me without the story. And I'm much more gameplay orientated than I am story, so Wayward Strand, just for like its visual presentation and its voice acting. Goat Simulator 3, just because me and Lee had so much stupid fun with it.
Yeah, I was going to put that on my list actually. That's a cool little game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's so better. So they actually improved the first one. They did a really good job of improving the first one.
It's so good. Like it's one just has that level of jank to it, whereas in 3 just feels like they've got the balance right.
You polished it a bit, yeah.
Yeah. Really surprised Destroy All Humans 2 this year as well. Just like, you know, those AA experiences that you just can't put down. That was like that. Cuphead DLC, just how great it looked. Tunic, Tinykin, just for the Pikmin kind of puzzle style. Elden Ring didn't make my top 5, just because I don't have that much love for Souls games, but I still recognize how good it is. Gunfire Reborn that I'm addicted to. Turnip Boy and Fall Guys.
Boy.
Turnip Boy. Turnip Boy robs a bank. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. I can't. They're gonna have so many stupid names for him. I'm so ready for it. Okay, so number 5. I've cheated and I've put 2 titles.
Okay, all right. Well, let's shut this down right now.
All
Okay.
right.
So I wanted a really good co-op game for number 5, but I couldn't make my mind up between Nobody Saves the World or Shredder's Revenge. Nobody Saves the World. I had so much fun with Shane this year doing like he needed a distraction. We jumped into it, spent so many hours on it, and I really liked the discoverability of the game. I can understand how Charlotte and Mike feel limited, but I didn't really feel that myself. And then, yeah, Shredder's Revenge is just, for such a small studio to have such a solid Turtles game. Like, this year for Turtles games, I was really excited with Shredder's Revenge and the Cowabunga Collection. Obviously, the Cowabunga Collection, just a collection of the old games, but Shredder's Revenge was something so new, so modern that you could jump in with friends and play was amazing, with the only downside being the really grindy achievement for maxing out the characters at the end. If that achievement didn't exist, it would probably be a little bit higher for me, but yeah, just really solid. 4th, As Dusk Falls. I really don't think enough people talked about As Dusk Falls this year. And I think a lot of people got put off by the art style, but as soon as you play like 5 to 10 minutes of it, you can't. It's kind of like just reclining in a chair. You kind of like you're used to it by that point, and you just don't want to get up. You just want to experience the rest of the story. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. It left plenty of options open. It felt like I was playing a Telltale game for the first time again, with the added bonus that I could actually, I sat down with Nikita and we just made choices for one screen, but. You know, if we wanted to do a watch party or something like that, having that option there, that is such a smart idea for those kind of games. 3rd, Cult of the Lamb. No surprise there. The only reason this isn't higher is because of how it launched. But
Yeah.
such a strong blending of 2 awesome genres. There's not really much else to say. And I've been following the marketing and all that behind Cold Lamb for so long. It's just so interesting to me, and I just want one of those little lambs. I want one of the lamb controllers, and I don't even own a PlayStation.
That's so good.
And the fact that I actually got to meet the guy that came up with the idea for those controllers this year was pretty cool, as well. 2nd, controversial opinion: Sonic Frontiers.
Oh boy! All right.
Is it controversial? I know that Cameron's like, oh, Sonic.
I
don't think it's very good. That's why it's controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's the...
Cameron, if it helps, I'm on a website called Backlogged, which is like Letterboxd but for games, and there were several nominations for Game of the Year for Sonic, more than just
All those
an
people were
average
12
amount.
years old, though.
Yeah, there's dozens of them.
I really feel like it's like a recency bias thing where it's like, hey, it came out recently, and also it's been a long time since it's been a Sonic game, so it's like compared to like Sonic Forces, like this is 11 out of 10.
So I feel like there's 2 things for me. It's actually there's a number of things. It's the fact that this is my daughter's favorite franchise, so I have a love for Sonic. I am so in love with the Sonic franchise, and just being such an enjoyable movie with 1 and 2. Even just watching 2 on the weekend, I've seen it that many times now. Because it's all kids, they have a favorite movie, then they want to put it on. It's enjoyable to watch as an adult.
1 second. I know the movie Hop as well, just to back you up. Because I too have kids.
That is a throwback and a half.
I know.
That's
been bugging me because you keep bringing this movie. I'm listening to your podcast. I know, but I'm listening to all your podcasts, and you've been talking about Hop for months, and it's been bugging me. I've been wanting to talk to you about this. I understand what you're talking about.
With
the Easter Bunny.
Hop is it? Oh.
No, we're not getting on this tangent. We're not getting on this tangent.
Hop is a good movie. We'll watch it together.
That's cool. Hop is cool. Yeah, he's cool. He does poop jelly beans though, which is a bit weird.
Oh dear. God, yeah. That is a throwback and a
You're welcome.
half. Yeah, I really like what like I've talked ages before about like I have love for games like Titanfall, like Sunset Overdrive, where you're feeling fast, yeah.
Yes.
Sonic Frontiers has that feeling. It has so many issues with the environment, which is like this had such strong Game of the Year potential for me. But the fact of the pop-in, the bland environments outside, like this is half a perfect game for me.
Yeah, the fact that you can be faster than the game can render is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Oh no. Is that even on the Series X?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But saying that, I did play it. I did play it at launch, so hopefully it's something that they do fix at time. The soundtrack for this game, though, like, for me to go to Nikita, like, put the Sonic soundtrack on, because it, like, you know what? Need for Speed Unbound sucks. Sonic, like, way up here, has the lead singer of Sleeping Sirens, which Kyle would have. Did you see good things?
Yep.
Yep. Good?
Yeah, I've seen better.
Okay, I'm just putting you on the spot. One OK Rock, which was also at Good Things. One of my favorite Japanese, I don't know if you'd call them rock at this point, but like really, really solid. Just their two soundtracks on that game are amazing. Really, actually a really good story looking back at it. Yeah, the only problem is the main worlds, like the hub worlds, just need more color to like make it feel more Sonic-y, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the winner, I don't know if this is going to be a surprise or not, Vampire Survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
The marketing for this, like, obviously with my new job this year and all that, I've gotten into really like looking into the marketing of these games and all that. Like, I've known about Vampire Survivors for ages. I've known from other podcasts that have been playing in early access how addicting it was. I jumped on it as soon as I knew that it was on PC, and I didn't stop playing it. Like, it has such a satisfying gameplay loop. The fact that it's kind of breaking the conventional rules of how achievements and that come out, because it is a PC Game Pass game. Like, the fact that we're reading DLC, a month after release? And the fact that Ponicle, like, they've just came out of nowhere. They don't have any prior release games. Makes me really interested to see how they can, like, further develop these kind of gameplay loops and prove that these, like, not visually appealing games are so satisfying for the gameplay. Something that looks like that could have been something that looks, not exactly plays, but looks as if it could be playing off a SNES or something like that. That's video games to me. Gameplay in its purest. But yeah, that's me. Lee?
All right, yeah, Lee, let's wrap it up with you, mate. What are you got?
Okay. Right. I have the same issue with the other guys. So we actually play games from all over the place, not just this year. So just premise. But what I did play was Immortality, which was the weirdest game I've ever played in my life. I'm scared to go back, so I don't really understand how it finishes. I've done about 7 or 8 hours in that game, and I don't really understand the idea behind finishing it, so I've been scared. Because every time I sat there, I do 3 hours, and I've no idea what's happened for 3 hours, but 3 hours disappear as you're just clicking around everywhere. So it's kind of cool.
What you mean is you did manage to finish the story, but you don't actually know what happened.
I don't think I finished the story. No.
I don't think you finished the story.
No. I don't know what the story is, but no, I don't think I finished it. This is the problem. I don't understand. I'm confused. Also, a game I never played before was Destroy Humans. Got number 2 because I play on.
Yeah.
It's an awesome game. I need to go back and actually finish it. Actually finish off all the bits and pieces on it. It's a really cool game. It's really easy to play. It's just you jump in and it felt right. All the controls felt right. It was really good environments. It's achievable. The missions are fun. It's a real cool little game.
Can I just say, add on to it, because I didn't mention it before, ragdoll physics in games like that, where you can just grab a human
where you're picking
and
up
just
people
yeet
and
them.
chucking them around. Yeah. That's it. And using them as bombs and blowing things up with them. And yeah. It's so much fun. And Grid Legends is another honorable mention as well, because I played that game in a kind of fun way because I was playing against Tony. because she challenged me to finish it first, and I've really enjoyed it. It's just a really cool little racing game. There's no music playing, thankfully, but it's really cool. It's very achievable. Like drifting's achievable. It makes you feel kind of cool. The achievements, it's 80 hours, so it's kind of a long game, but it doesn't feel too bad when you're playing against somebody else. You're just kind of egging each other on all the time to play it. So, yeah. And 100%ed it, which is unusual for me as well, which is kind of cool.
Nice work.
See, yeah, achievement hunting. Look at him go.
Achievement hunting. I know, look at you go. So, my number 4 is Trek to Yomi.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it was a really cool game. Oh yeah, it's a really cool. I really like the art style's really cool. The music's really cool. The gameplay was really kind of easy to pick up on. It's a cool story. You know, Japanese feudal. You know, lots of running around with swords. You die. You run round in death. You save the girl, or do you? Like you have a question at the end of it. It's got a really cool ending to it. It's there's a whole end. You can actually choose how you finish it. It's really well done. And there's battles, big boss battles, and really cool game. And it's still my background actually in work. My background is the last scene when you're running up to the foreign building.
Cool.
It's really cool black and white pictures everywhere. It's a really cool game. Then I've got the Ascent, and I'm cheating because the DLC came out for it this year, even though it's the last year game.
We'll give you that. Yep.
Yeah.
Because
the game I
have
can
to play through the whole game again, basically with other people, right?
with other people. Yeah, I've played it through 3 times now. That game, twice to the DLC, and I've just started a game with Kyle because it's my game that I love jumping into and just running around shooting shit. That's kind of it's just cool, and I love the visuals, I love the music, love the guns, the feeling of all the guns. Now you got swords, which are fun and destroy stuff. The baddies are quite varied.
That studio being bought was such a steal for them to
Did they get bought, did they?
Yeah, they got bought out by Embracer, right?
Did Embracer buy them? Okay. That's cool. And there's always set up for next stuff as well. They always finish it in a way that you can kind of go, oh yeah, there's going to be more. Especially the main story, when it finishes, there's a whole kind of, like the guys upstairs appear kind of thing happening. So you know there's more to it than that. So yeah, it's really cool. They did a really nice job. And the graphic, like you go into photo mode, you can see the amount of detail they put into this game. Very cool game. I'll put in number 2 as Gotham Knights.
Sorry, it was PUBG that bought them out, not Embracer.
PUBG brought us the same guys, didn't they?
Yeah. Krafton, that owned PUBG, bought Neon Giant.
Oh, okay. Because those are like 10 guys made that game, didn't they? It was a really small studio, wasn't it? Yeah.
I just want them to do the first person patch.
Yeah, you get it on PC, can't you? There's an Unreal patch you can put onto it and go first person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be cool. It would kill Cyberpunk, I think.
Yeah.
If they could finish the multiplayer properly, if they could fix that and make it work properly, then.
Yep.
That's been my thing that stopped me from playing it, because I've heard that it's kind of still a bit of a mess.
It's not too bad. It's fine. You can put up with it. Me and Cameron ran for it with Keo, didn't we? It was fine.
Yeah, the achievements are broken though. That's the only problem.
No, they're not. I've got 100% of it.
Yeah, I mean you do. I don't. I have to start a new game.
Yeah, it sucks.
Oh, it sucks for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's annoying. It's annoying though
Sorry,
when you
bro.
got so much variety to play games, and then you spend so much time on one, and you can't get the full completion without restarting again. So
Cyberpunk for me, there's one bug achievement for me which I can't get all the different speed places to go. You know, the fast travels.
Yeah.
99% I'm stuck on. It's like.
It's okay. It's completed in your heart, and then
Yes. Yes.
No,
I've done
I want
4 of the 5
100%
endings or
plaque.
something. So. Yes. Like I sent you mean. So Gotham Knights I'm putting number 2 because it's a really solid game. I think they've done a really nice job. And I feel like it's open to do more to as well. They've kind of designed it in a way like there's a real they're almost like they've got the foundation really well. The fighting's solid. It can be upgraded. They can get better. They can get more FPS. They can put more stuff in. They've already put in a new like a tower defense thing you do, like climbing towers, like a floor thing that you do.
It's like a 4-player mode now, right?
Yeah, full play mode came out this week. Yeah, and you kind of go floor of like, I don't know, I think there's 30 floors you do. And there's a different baddie on each floor or every 3 or 4. And there's a new guy called Starman or something.
Oh.
Who is he? I do not know. There's a DC guy. He's so weird. And he's a star or something like that. I have no idea. It's sort of confusing. But... So yeah, it's a cool game. It's good. It's solid. It's a Batman game. Like it feels like Batman. You run around. There's like each character's different. The sneaky kind of Robin, which Carl loves. Red Hood has guns. All of them have different kind of ways of fighting. so you can kind of treat them differently. The multiplayer works quite well. You jump into someone's game, help them out. And if you complete stuff in that multiplayer, it passes through to your single player as well, which is nice. So if you're stuck on something, it's nice that we can jump in, help you, and it doesn't actually affect you. Like, you don't lose anything for doing it, which is really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a real solid game. And it's pretty. Like, yeah, it's real. There's some really nice screenshots out of it. It's a real pretty game. And my game year is Cyberpunk as well. Cyberpunk 2.0. Yeah, Cyberpunk 2.0. Because I played it for that month and did 90 hours in that month and complete the whole game. I was like, this game's incredible. Just so good. I love all the characters, like all the different missions that you do, all the side missions, just stupid side missions everywhere.
The guy with the exploding penis. That's always good. That one always.
I didn't miss that one.
You missed that
no.
one.
I missed that one.
Oh, no.
Now I'm sad.
Oh, it's so funny.
I'm gonna go searching for him.
One of my favorite content creators was they based it on him. He did the voice and like the model for it and everything. And they were just like, it's like, all right, well, you're going to be in this game, but you're going to have a penis enhancement that's gone very, very wrong. That's the plot line.
Kyle, you did that one, yeah?
I need to find it.
Yep.
I need to
I helped
find that
him
one.
in.
I'm sad now.
Go hang out on the docks. Show some leg.
Oh, okay. I'm wearing a skirt in that game, so possibly I could do that. That could work.
He'll approach you. He'll be very friendly.
Yes, I'm sure he will. Yes. Yeah, there's just really good characters. They really fleshed out all the characters, all the different missions, all the side missions are well done. The main stories are cool. There's 4 different endings, all very different as well. So it kind of make you think endings. Like, oh, that's wasn't expecting that sort of ending at the end of it. Graphics is amazing. The sounds also. After playing the game, then watching the TV series, it just as soon as you start hearing the phone ring, you go a Cyberpunk immediately. Like, it's really funny. Like that kind of. Because you're always getting your phone calls from people all the time in the game, and then all of a sudden there's phone ring in there. You're like, yeah, they got everything down right. Music's cool. The car driving's bad, but that's to be expected. GTA sort of style driving of cars. Yeah. That's cool. That's all.
Fantastic. Well, that's actually a hugely diverse list of games. I'm so happy that we all had a lot of different stuff. That's great. There's so much stuff in there. I'm like, oh shit, I need to play that. Oh, I need to play that. Or I didn't get around to this. Or I'm like, and then it's like, we're a couple of weeks away from next year, so I don't know where we're going to find the time.
Yeah.
What's the one game on everybody else's list that they want to play?
I wrote down Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, I wrote down Sonic Frontiers, I think.
Vampire Survivors for me.
Vampire Survivors, I would definitely recommend it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
I want to play Pentiment.
Yeah, Pentiment.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pentiment.
Oh, Tunic though, but Tunic as well. I was saying.
Tunic.
Yeah. Sounds amazing.
I kind of want to do Immortality too because Lee doesn't have any idea.
Do it.
Because it confused. Carl played it, and he's the same as me. Confused, no idea.
I have some theories. I have some theories about the game, but Lee doesn't agree with my theories.
How about you guys all play it and you can do a spoiler cast episode?
Oh
That is
yeah,
a
we can try and
great
work
idea.
out. Yeah,
Absolutely.
work out what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
Get
you can
some-
have that one for free.
Get some content out of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's our Game of the Year stuff. So let's get into towards the end of the show here. We've taken out the rest of the stuff in terms of news and other bits and pieces, but I've left in the word challenge because no one's figured it out yet. No one's even guessed The Witness for some reason.
Oh, I was going to say it's The Witness.
It's not, no one's even tried The Witness.
God
No
damn
one
it,
has
I was just
actually
gonna-
tried The Witness.
No one's tried The Witness. It could be the one time that it's The Witness. You never know. But for those who haven't been catching up with it, the first clue is that it's a game that has a new game plus mode. It is a less than 25% completion on TA, and that's a full completion. It is ranked lower than 60 on Metacritic to give you an idea of the quality. And here's the new clue: the game was released in 2014, so that should narrow it down quite a bit because I would like someone to win this before Christmas. So good luck. If you don't know about the word challenge, basically I picked a game, give you clues each week. We've got a channel on our Discord, discord.io/HallofGamers. You can come on there and get into the questions channel, guess the game. You can guess one game every hour. Make sure you get the exact spelling. If you get it right, a GIF comes up. If you guess The Witness, a different GIF will come up.
Yay!
Because it's not The Witness. It's never The Witness, and it never will be until it is.
Yeah, you'll never know.
So good luck to everyone. Definitely try it out. Thank you, Lee, for posting The Witness because I've been wanting someone to see that GIF because I change the GIF I change the GIF every month.
Yeah.
So you give a tip one time. You said copy and paste the name from TA.
Yes.
Yeah.
if you think it's that game, because that's where you
Yeah.
got the game from. So just I thought that was a really good tip. So.
Yes, absolutely. Because you want to basically, the bot is really, really particular.
Yep. It's cap sensitive as well.
Yeah.
So,
So literally just copy and paste from TA. And if you get it wrong, I'll probably tell you to delete it and repost it, and I'll make the bot work so you get the fanfic.
or we'll just repost it ourselves for you and give it to you. Like
One or the other, it's fine. But yeah,
whichever is quicker.
if you get it right, you win $20. Easy as that. $20 Australian and whatever dollar-do currency that you guys use.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the word challenge. I want someone to guess it before Christmas because we won't be doing the show for a little while, so there won't be any more clues. So now is the time to get in. That's all you're getting. So make a list of all the games from 2014 and start ticking them off.
Yep.
We've also
Go for it.
got our Patreon. Cameron.
Yeah. So Patreon, I'm just going to go through and thank everybody. First of all, Lee, who's on the podcast right now. Oh, wait. There we go. Yeah, cool. Mikhail, Chapters, Natalator, Firehawk, Mad Lefty, G Spaceman, Admiral Awesome, Keo, Happy Moogle, Kung Fu Skills, Hack and Pone, Cavalier 07, Omnic Clown, Mark B, and Nicola the Legend. Thank you for your support. Without you, would not be able to do the show. If you subscribe on Patreon, you get exclusive content like our podcast, LCA, Lights, Camera, and Action. What else? I'm having a blank.
You've also got the contest,
the contest,
the draw.
Yeah, have we?
The free game, the monthly
Yeah,
game.
we'll do the draw and then we'll probably reveal it next.
Yeah,
cool.
So we'll do the draw and we'll reveal it on our next episode, which will be in the new year.
Yeah, cool.
So don't worry, you won't miss out on it. But if you are on a Patreon, you do go in the draw to win one of these lovely games that Cameron picks out, and you get to vote on it. So you get to actually pick. You might have a chance of picking the actual game you want.
Yep. I haven't put any up for December, so I'll probably do that sometime this week. See what's come out. Try and pick some games that aren't Game Pass, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fantastic. And like I said, we've got our Discord, discord.io/HallOfGamers, where you can ask questions about the show. You want to get them read out like Isaac does. You can join the word challenge. Otherwise, our community's there. You'll get to keep up to date with everything happening with the podcast and all the fun stuff that we do, along with boosting sessions and all that kind of stuff if you want to play some things with people.
I was going to say, I posted our Discord in the chat, and also Lee posted the XboxCast too.
Yay.
No.
So join both.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're join our sister community. They're a great bunch of people, as you can see here. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Jinx.
2 out of 3 of them are great. I'll let you figure out which one which. We've also, as always, got our Twitch, Xbox Hall of Gamers. I'm kidding, they're all great. Xbox Hall of Gamers. You can come hang out with us live, hang out in the chat, ask questions, shitpost. Just be amazing people. We greatly appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
You guys are the reason we do the show.
I was going to say, shout out Miss Cannon too for the raid before.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for that. That was incredible. It's really great to have our big end of the year episode have so many people watching it. It's just amazing.
Yeah, so if you haven't followed Miss Cannon, go and find her on Twitch.
Yeah.
And if you want to get in touch with us in other ways, you can email us at hallofgamerspodcast@gmail.com. Otherwise, we're on Twitter at hallofgamerspod. Subscribe to us on your platform of choice. Leave us a review. Word of mouth is always huge for us. Tell your friends. Get any boosting sessions. Talk about podcasts. Always great to listen to while you're working on some grindy bullshit.
Or Need for Speed.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Again,
it.
just repeating myself. All right. Now it's time for the shilling. Thank you to the Xbox Cast for joining us so graciously. We really appreciate having you guys on. You are absolutely fantastic. Let's start with Kyle. What have you got to shill?
Thank you guys for having us. You guys have had a fantastic year, made better by us being included.
Absolutely, 100%,
Of course.
I mean,
unquestionable.
we graciously and humbly accept your thanks for lifting up your content.
I mean, hey, we take everything we can get.
Matt, you got them the trophy for the best other Xbox podcast, yeah?
Yeah, second best Xbox podcast. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's
the New Zealand Xbox that has more Australians than we do.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that ours is the Australian podcast that has 2 New Zealanders.
Yeah,
that's
2
right.
New Zealanders, and you guys are the New Zealand podcast that has 2 Australians.
Oh.
It's pretty funny.
Actually, we've got an Englishman and 2 Sappers.
I've got
So
a couple of sappers. Yeah, really, it's
Yeah.
just this
It's not
colonialism
working.
podcast right here.
Crossing
God,
all
these
the-
Xbox podcasts have so many identity issues now, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. Yeah.
It means we get to pull the diversity card more.
True.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That is true.
Well, yeah, you've shouted out to us, so you can find the Xbox Cast pretty much anywhere you find podcasts. We're less achievement focused than these guys, so if that's your cup of tea, you feel free to join us. Although one of us is becoming an achievement hunter quick, fast, and in a hurry. So we
Except
might
for
need to
us.
talk to-
One of us.
we might need to talk to you guys and maybe do a host swap at some point. When one of you guys decide to stop being achievement hunters and come back to the filthy casual side.
Interesting.
You can take Matt. He's not
Cameron's
an
nearly
achievement
there.
hunter.
Cameron's nearly there.
Yeah, it's getting close.
He's got over 200,000 gamer score. I don't think he counts.
Yeah, fair.
Apart from the podcast, you can find me at Zarkris on Xbox and Twitter. And I'll leave the rest of the shilling up to my other co-hosts.
Fantastic. Simone,
What does shilling mean?
just
Tell us
Just
how
selling
great
yourself.
Yeah.
Do I praise
So we can
myself?
find you
Or
and
you guys?
yeah. What are your social
This
details
is
so people
you.
can follow you
Oh.
and hear your opinions?
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
What it stands for? What does shilling stand for?
I'm not
ba-
up to all this like modern.
You're
slang,
like you're shilling with a pen and you're trying to get money.
like a poor person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
shilling,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
So you're
Shilling as in
literally
five-
just
5
like
pence, 5
you're-
pence.
Panhandling, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
I see.
Shill.
Okay.
Acts
I
or work
mean-
as the shill.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Dictionary.com. Appreciate that.
Thank you guys for having us. It's always fun to jump on whenever we get an invite. The motto we talk over ourselves for the next week or so is we're just going to cause chaos and make them laugh.
Perfect.
And so we try our best. If you want to follow me, I am Jim Bean NZ on Xbox and Twitter. I am this close to overtaking Kyle in followers on Twitter. So if you want to make that happen,
I should definitely do that.
Go
Yeah,
for
maybe I
it.
should unfollow Carl and then it can happen.
Yeah.
No.
Don't you all just follow each other though and mute each other? Or is that just Lee?
Yeah, no, just Lee. Yeah, I think it's just
Just
Lee.
Lee.
He just mute me. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, well, Carl, Lee is just a posting advert, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 I'm a news person. I do the
Yeah, yeah.
news.
A news
news.
person.
A news.
The
yes.
news and the charts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done the charts this week. Oh wait a minute.
Oh no!
Sure.
Wrap the show.
Wrong show for that.
I'm going into a
It's your
tunnel.
Turn anyway, Lee. So go for it.
Yeah,
Do what
Lee,
you
what do
like.
you got?
Yeah, so we have got Discord too. We've got one called the XboxCast Discord. We should all come in.
Friendliest
We
Discord
have
out there.
YouTube, we have Twitch. And I'm Lee Howard 25 on Twitters and Lee Howard 25 and Lee Howard on Twitter, sorry. And Lee Howard on Xbox and Lee Howard 25 on Twitch.
Don't forget that 25. It's
don't
really
forget
I
important.
know the 25 confuses me. Yeah, don't forget the 25.
It's because
Yeah,
you're 25 years old, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Every year.
Yeah.
Forever, yes. Yeah, that's all. No, that's it.
Fantastic. Cameron.
Shadowless Edge on pretty much everything except for Twitch, Shadowless Edge _. I will probably not be streaming for the rest of the year, whether it be Hog or well, obviously we're going on break, or myself, because I've got a lot of cleanup I want to do for gaming. So, yeah. I
Right.
will just be jumping
And-
in streams.
And people know that on Twitch you don't do any gaming. Charlotte.
Rude.
On Twitch, I am Charmandosaurus _Rex. On Twitter, I am AudreyChar. On Xbox, I am AudreyChar. On Discord, I am the Char with many names
Mm-hmm.
because I can't have one name, but mainly because I can't get one name across all platforms.
I don't know why Tales from the Borderlands just popped in my head, and I was just like, cha 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 cha.
What? God. That was the Borderlands. That's good. All right. And if you want to find me, I'm on everything Neomaster, True Achievements, Xbox, and Discord. Thank you so much to our audience, to our patrons, to our listeners, to our guests, to Charlotte and Cameron for making this an incredible year. We've had a lot of changes, a lot of stuff going on, but I think we've come out better on the other side of it.
I was gonna say we raised $1,600 for cancer.
We did.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm, you know what? I get the feeling we'll probably end up doing it again. So,
Twist their arms. Twist their
yeah. Well, I think my arms are what's going to get
24 hours.
24.
No
absolutely
way.
not. No.
We
48
barely made it
hours.
through 12.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god,
I'm
you
not
can
doing
do
any-
it on your own channel.
But as I was saying, thank you all so much. It's been an amazing year, and we look forward to doing it all again. I think it'll be I think we're coming back in Jan. I think I don't think we
At
were
some point in Jan, we haven't
some point in
decided
January.
exactly when though.
So we're going to be a bit of a hiatus for the end of the
Just
year.
a
where we
couple of
can
weeks.
chill out for a little bit. We'll be back and better than ever. But thank you all for joining us.
Don't make
We will
them promises we can't keep.
Yeah, well, look. I mean, I'm in marketing. I got to lie to them up front. They won't remember this in a month anyway.
Cool.
Who's gonna know?
So
How would they
make
know?
sure you join us next year for episode 65. We will catch you guys next time. Peace out. But I'm Diggity.